Hey Ray, how are you? Girl, I am so tired, but I slept good last night, but I had to make some errands today. But other than that, I'm okay. I haven't had a chance to really eat today, but I will when I get off. Because I got up so early and made some errands, child. Ooh. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I think yesterday when I got off, my mind was just, ugh. I was exhausted. I was just tired. It was a lot yesterday. It really was. Hey, Miss Walker. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Sonia. Y'all hit the like button for me, please, as you come in. Because I want to know, how did y'all feel about the census? I have some prosecutors and lawyers that is speaking what they feel that this case was unfairly. I'm going to bring it up so y'all can hear it. Um, I listened to a video real quick because it was time for my live that another guy want the family to reopen this case back up. He was saying that they can get in contact with him. So, mm, y'all, it's a lot I could say, but man, oh man, oh man. When I was in that chat yesterday and heard that verdict, I was like, wow. Yes. See, he have to do 17 years and then he can go up for parole. And if he get parole, then he'll do the other years on parole when he come home. But if you notice, they want him to do 17 years. Check it out now, because when he unalive Austin was 17, so that's why they said he got to do 17 years. I don't know if y'all seen this case before, right? This happened like a few months ago, and I was going to cover that case a little bit. It wasn't a big case, but I was going to cover it, but I didn't get a chance to, right? I don't know if y'all seen it, but it was this young girl. She was 17, and her boyfriend was 17, and they was arguing in a parking lot garage, and she stabbed him and killed him, and they had her on camera. Do anyone of y'all remember that? That was this year. It was a couple of months ago. He was 17 and she was 17, and they gave her 17 years for that too. I don't know if y'all seen that. I was gonna do a story on that too, but yeah, I just can't keep up with everything. Everything I just can't keep up with. But I was gonna cover that story also. Um, yeah, she stabbed him and she killed him. Yes, the little black girl. Yes, yes, yes. Um, Ray, could you remember? Do you remember what town that was in? Because I can't remember. Y'all, I cover so many cases sometimes, y'all. I mean, y'all be. I'm telling y'all, this stuff is draining, y'all. It really is. Hey, Auntie. I can't remember. Hey, Brittany. I can't remember what state that was in. I can't remember off bat. But she tried to lie something and say she didn't mean to do it or something like that. She said, I can't remember the whole case. I can't remember the whole thing. Oh man. Good morning, Miss D. Good morning, baby. How are you? So it be draining, y'all. It do. It do. This is very it. It takes a lot of energy from me sometimes. It really does. It takes a lot of energy. Brittany, did you hear about that case? Because I know you heard about it. With the black 17-year-old girl and the black 17-year-old boy, they got in an argument inside of a parking lot. Like those underground garages that you park your car in. They both got in an argument, and she stabbed him in the chest. Do you remember that? That was just a couple of months ago. Oh, you think it was Florida? Okay, 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 okay. Because I was gonna cover that case too, but I didn't get a chance. But they gave that girl 17 years because that boy, her boyfriend, was 17. Yes, Ray Ray. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so y'all do remember that case. Okay. Sometime y'all, when y'all ask me, is I'm gonna cover this case or that case, sometime y'all, it's a lot, y'all. I be, I can speak for me. I do. I be tired, and I do have an outside life, and I've been really tired for the last month and a half. Trying to get my granddaughter, prom together, graduation together. She's leaving for college July the 5th. Her graduation is tomorrow. I will not be going live tomorrow. I want to take that whole day off and just relax, get ready for her graduation. And then I already started her stuff. She's leaving for college on July the 5th. And I want to say thank everybody that donated to her Amazon list. I want to say thank everybody that donated to her Amazon list. I want to say thank you so much. So it's been overwhelming for me. And then coming up here doing commentary every day. Then I got to get up early and, start my day again doing this, doing that. It, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. I'll be back, D. I have to run errands right quick. Okay, baby. Love you. Be safe, okay, sis? Um, hey Buttercup, how are you, sweetie? Miss Walker, you saw that too? Okay, good. Okay, okay. Because I was gonna cover that case too. Um, hey Moss, chat, Miss D. Congratulations on your granddaughter. Thank you. Thank y'all. That has been wearing me out too, y'all. Like literally wearing me out. Okay. I gotta get up in the morning. I have to go get my nails and all of that stuff done. I have to go get her balloons. I have to go get her teacher a graduation bag because I got her teacher, her favorite teacher gift. Because she said she had a favorite 12th grade teacher. So I said, okay. So I got to run and do all that stuff tomorrow, and I just want to take that day off and just relax before her actual graduation tomorrow afternoon. I just want to rest tomorrow. But I have had good supporters, has been inboxing me and has been donating from her Amazon list to support her for her college. So I appreciate that. I really do. Um, hey Peanut. Um, I just feel so exhausted right now, y'all. I really do. I don't even know where to start. This case was crazy. Yeah, it was, Miss Walker. It really was. I think it got me a little down a little bit, but I just think he was. Listen, y'all. Let me say this: if you got other prosecutors that was not on that case and attorneys is saying they did this boy wrong, y'all, come on now, come on. I watched so many news channels yesterday did not like the way this boy was treated. I promise y'all. These is coming from other news reporters, that's prosecutors, that's lawyers. As you should, Miss D. This is an awesome time for the Black Girl Rocks. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Um, I don't know where the video at, y'all, because I can't keep up with everything, y'all. I really can't. Um, I seen a video yesterday. I don't know if it was his, because some people were saying on the live that was his mom, that was the auntie, that was the grandmother. I don't know who it was, but she was a very nice looking lady. And it was a guy with long dress. He was speaking out. After the court, there was, I don't know if the police thought somebody was trying to attack them, but people was not really trying to attack them. They was giving them love, showing them so much love. They were surrounding their car, so the cops came over there real fast, I guess thinking someone was trying to, out to harm them or whatever. But that broke my heart. It did. Wow. Yeah, London. A lot of people did not appreciate that. I'm just y'all, and y'all know how I am. Like I like to be. I try to be nice when I cover a case, but when I get to a point it's just not right, I just gotta say something. Y'all, I never knew until yesterday morning. Now I heard about this attorney, right? And I heard a lot of people always say, "Oh, he's nice. He's been around for a long time," right? So I gave him the benefit of the doubt, right? I didn't know it. Now, when I went on Facebook this morning, y'all, this man is plastered everywhere. They dogging him out. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Now you got some content creators over there, child. Okay, another story for another day. But they saying that he didn't do his job. They felt like he didn't work hard enough for Carmelo. One content creator said, "Where the hell did the mother get him from?" They said that this man helped put Carmelo away, y'all. I believe that, Buttercup. Let me bring this video because I want y'all to see it. y'all, and y'all please support me today. Please, y'all. I've been doing a lot of hard work, y'all. I be tired now. I really do. Let me bring this up because I want y'all to hear what these attorneys got to say. And I think one attorney was saying, "Oh yeah, y'all. You remember when they had 3 teachers or something? Like they got rid of the teachers because they felt like it was conflicts of interest or something like that because it was the 3 teachers that they didn't want there." Now I'm not gonna tell y'all, but I want y'all to hear what this lady that I'm going to play. I want y'all to hear what she has to say. They calling his job. Who job, Peanut? The attorney man that had the case? Hold on. Jesus, they child. Hold on, let me bring up. Oh, give me a second. Bigger than him. I hope y'all can hear that. Because I'm up loud as I can go. For our sisters, we need to fight for our community. They always up front. We always fight. They want freedom. Oh, the protection for our family. Oh God.
Welcome back to Court TV Live, the breaking news.
Y'all listen to this very carefully.
Carmelo Anthony, which will be read soon. The parties are gathering in the courtroom. The jury was out just under 3 hours before coming to a unanimous decision. They had 2 choices on their ballot, 3 actually: guilty of murder, guilty of manslaughter, or not guilty. What has this group of 12 decided? We will find out momentarily. As you can see, outside of the courthouse in McKinney, Texas, emotions are running high. This has been a case that's been very polarizing from the very beginning, as we see a standoff here, one of many that we see play out during this case. Undoubtedly, whichever way this goes, this will be a chaotic scene outside of this courtroom or courthouse. Police presence has been very intense, according to our Cody Thomas, who is making his way inside the courthouse. He'll be sending out live notes once he gets into his place. The rules that have been set by the judge are very stringent. So getting in and getting out is a process.
Y'all, one of the men that's going to talk up here even dogged the judge out. He said he felt everything the judge did was wrong. Listen.
As we continue to watch the just emotional, this is a horrible scenario outside. Two people with different views of what they believe happened here going face to face. Carmelo Anthony, of course, admits that he stabbed Austin Metcalf at a track meet last year after the two came face to face under a tent during a rainstorm at the track. Well, it was raining. And since then, this has been the face of it. What we're seeing outside that courtroom has been slow burning for the last year. These were two young men whose lives were changed forever. Carmelo Anthony immediately admitted that he stabbed Austin Metcalf. He even asked, how is he doing?
Hey, Karen, my love. How are you?
After the stabbing. Now it's up to this jury. Not only will the jury decide guilt and innocence, but this same jury, if they find him guilty of one of the two top charges, they will decide if the defense wants them to, that's Texas law, about the penalty. And if it's murder, that penalty could be anywhere from 5 to life in prison, 5 to 99 years. Of course, manslaughter carries a much lower potential penalty. Michael Jaffer is watching along with us. He is a national trial attorney. And Michael, we've been watching this case unfold through the eyes of Cody Thomas. And I'll cut you off. My apologies if we get word from Cody on either what's going on in the courtroom, of course, if there's a verdict. So first of all, your take on this. This is, it's heartbreaking to watch because there was no camera in this courtroom. Each one of these sides believes they know the absolute truth. It's somewhere in the middle, and it's up to a jury. Your thoughts?
I mean, this is tragic. To see the scene outside of the courtroom, it just breaks my heart, right? At the end of the day, it seems like it's torn a community, and it's very sad. At the end of the day, look, it really comes down to the concept of proportionality, right? You brought a knife to a fight that did not involve a knife. But at the end of the day, is that justified? It could be justified. There are instances where it is justifiable to, force to use a knife to defend yourself against someone who doesn't have a knife. A, you don't know if they have a knife. B, you don't know even without a knife if they could kill you. C, you don't know if they're trying to kill you with or without a knife. But at the end of the day, to the other side, to the prosecution, you caused the death of another person who was unarmed, right? The worst case scenario that person could have given you, according to the prosecution, was just beating you or hitting you or bruising you. But other people can say, and I remember specific cases where a group of kids at a high school punched another kid, and this was an actual case, and the kid died because his head hit the wall after he got punched and fell and hit his head on a brick and then died. So somebody could say, hey, I was in fear for my life. I used a knife. I pulled out the knife. I didn't use it, and they kept coming at me. So, I'm just saying in general, because you don't really, really know what happened. You have testimony on both sides, and the question then becomes, is there reasonable doubt? Look, if there's a robot looking at this case, if the jury was comprised of robots, I think there's reasonable doubt as to whether or not he committed manslaughter or murder. I think if a robot was on the jury, but man, these jurors are human beings. They live in that community. This case has gripped that community. That's why I'm riveted to see what the jury, like, honestly, I don't care if I spend till midnight to find out. I'm going to watch and see what this jury verdict is, because it could also inflame that community if they come back guilty on murder. I mean, I think this community is just gonna, it's like a powder cake at this point. It's just gonna evaporate. So we'll see what happens, but that's my analysis on the law.
Again, these are live pictures outside of the courthouse in McKinney, Texas, where inside the parties have gathered because a verdict has been reached in the case against Carmelo Anthony. Austin Metcalf was 17 years old when he lost his life in this fight between Carmelo Anthony and himself. And as Michael just said, Austin Metcalf pushed Carmelo. Carmelo returned with a knife that he pulled out of a bag. It was a very small knife, 4-inch pocket knife, which was not illegal to have in his possession. It was against school policy, but it was not illegal for him to have it in his possession. And the defense argued in their closing argument that Austin Metcalf had no legal right to force Carmelo from that tent that he was in. That was part of their argument. For the state, they argued you cannot bring a knife to a fist fight. These live pictures, we'll continue to show them outside of the courthouse, but we don't have a camera. If you're just joining us,
Hey,
we haven't followed this
777.
case, we have the next best thing to camera, and that is our Cody Thomas. He's inside the courtroom. He's making his way inside through security, and he'll be able to send us out in real time observations in the courtroom once he's settled, and then of course the verdict. Right now we have it up. We're waiting for anything from Cody. So far nothing, so he's making his way inside the courtroom. But again, there is a verdict in the case against Carmelo Anthony. Michael Jaffer, the choices are murder, manslaughter, and not guilty. There's also the element of that this same jury will, if the defendant wants, decide punishment. And it's wide ranging. Even on the top charge, it's 5 years to 99. If you're representing Carmelo Anthony, do you want the jury to decide penalty, or would you rather the judge decide that? And does it matter on what their verdict is? Let's assume that he's guilty of one of the top two. That's the scenario, of course, that would play out. Otherwise, there is no sentencing. What do you think they'll opt for if indeed there is a guilty verdict here?
Love this question, and here's the answer. Both things are true. It does depend on the jury, on the verdict, obviously. If it's murder, if it's a top charge, I don't want them going anywhere near it. Secondly, it comes down to the judge. Every attorney will tell you, don't tell me the law, tell me who the judge is. It depends on the judge. These defense attorneys know this judge. They've practiced in front of this judge. It's a very, very, very small, close-knit community. I'm not talking about that city. I'm talking about the community of defense attorneys and judges. We all know each other. We all respect one another. So it depends on both the verdict and the judge. So first of all, it's a non-starter for me to let the jury decide the punishment if they come back on the top charge. I don't want that jury anywhere near it, because I have no idea what happened in that room and which leader was able to impress upon the other people. Clearly, I lost. But if the verdict comes back as if it's not guilty, there's no sentencing. But if it comes back on manslaughter, then I go back to the second part of the analysis, which is who is the judge? If the judge is somebody that I know has a background, has worked in the inner city, worked in communities, represented. If he was a criminal defense attorney, I'm letting the judge decide the sentence no matter what. If the judge was a criminal defense attorney, because they didn't just go to law school and become a judge. They did something. What did they do before? But if they were a prosecutor, I'm not letting that judge decide the sentence, because a prosecutor will just basically throw the book almost all the time. So that's the answer to the question. These attorneys already have their idea of what they want in case their client is convicted of anything.
Yeah, when you factor in the 3 hours, not a lot of time when you have a multi-day trial of this magnitude and a high-profile trial. Every one of the jurors in this case, Michael, has been told to not factor in the community, not factor in the fact that this is high-profile, but they know the world is watching, and specifically everybody in this part of Texas is watching. And that matters, does it not? That, yes, they know that their decision is going to be reacted to, and we're seeing it playing out even before the decision comes in outside of the courthouse.
Yeah, again, Ted, this is very, very, very sad. And watching what I'm seeing on screen is very, very sad. Yeah, I mean, listen, imagine, I see how this stuff comes about, right? You're sitting there in whatever community you are. In this case, it's in Texas, right? And you see a case, you hear a fact pattern, you come to a judgment. Obviously, you don't have all the facts. And you say, oh, this was sad. This shouldn't have happened, or should have happened, right? But if you come to the conclusion that, hey, a young man lost his life. He went to school one day. His parents got a phone call, not telling him, hey, your son has a nosebleed, but your son is dead, right? And so you come to a conclusion. Then when you see other people outside the courtroom protesting not in favor of the death, but hey, Mr. Anthony did nothing wrong, then you're going to come and you say, I'm going to go protest. And then the whole thing becomes inflamed. It's very sad. At the end of the day, none of us know more than those jurors about what we saw in this case. So coming back in 3 hours, from multi-day trial, it just to me seems like rash. Either way, whether they convict him or whether they acquit him, I feel like this requires.
Yes, and an attorney said something about that too, Peanut. 5-day trial and 3 hours verdict. Okay, and 2 hour sentence. They did not like that at all. Yes.
Required a little bit more deliberation than a few hours. I mean, even half of that 3 hours was not even deliberation. It was taking a poll and everything else. So at the end of the day, this is going to really whatever happens, there's going to be some sort of payback to the community there as a result of this.
It seems as though, and we're gonna get a break because we still haven't heard from Cody, who's inside the courtroom. He is sending out messages to us, meaning that he is just getting settled and going through security and all of that. So let's get a break in now. We'll continue to monitor what's going on outside the courthouse, and then as soon as Cody starts transmitting messages, we'll be able to give you the color from inside the courtroom, and then ultimately the verdict when it is announced. Again, the breaking news at this hour: the jury in the case against Carmelo Anthony has come to a verdict in under 3 hours. We'll have more of continuing coverage right after this.
And I want you to know that, bro. Is that okay? I thought the police was good. I used to look up to my uncle. How can I do that when y'all are complicit? How can I support my family members when y'all are complicit in a system like this? I still
Motherfuckers, ain't nobody gonna gonna set me up on either side. Fuck, I'm out here. They doing all the yelling they want to. Why the fuck they gotta be? Oh, we gotta look good.
Did nobody say nothing to you? I'm just saying, did nobody say nothing to you? Somebody said,
Your ass yesterday.
Tina, I was upset too, girl. I don't know who she is, Karen.
all of you that are complicit in a system, you too. I see you. Yes, you. All of you are complicit in a fucked up system. And it's still peace, love, unity, and respect. Peace, love, unity, and respect. Peace, love, unity, and respect. Peace, love, unity, and respect.
Welcome back to Court TV Live and our continuing coverage of the verdict in the case against Carmelo Anthony. A jury of 12 has come to a unanimous decision. In under 3 hours, this jury is made up of all non-African Americans, which was a point of contention after jury selection by the defense. Outside of the courthouse in Collin County, located in McKinney, Texas, this is a live picture of the scene outside. You see heavy security, and many people have come out. And this has been the case throughout the trial, that people have come out because it has been a lightning rod, has this case been. There have been no cameras, there were no cameras allowed. So we have relied on our correspondent, Cody Thomas, but all of these people have relied on different news organizations to deliver the details of the trial as it's unfolded. And that, of course, makes a difference, because had a camera been allowed in this case, we all would have witnessed the exact same thing. Not the case in this trial. The closing arguments were done earlier today. Each side only had the last word. And I want to read to you the last words that the prosecutor told this jury. It is your duty to hold this young man accountable for this senseless murder, and send a message that this will not be tolerated in this community. Make justice swift in this case. Michael Schaefer's watching along with us. He's a trial attorney helping us through our coverage. And Michael, eerie words, make justice swift. Indeed, one could argue that maybe this jury listened under 3 hours, coming back with a unanimous verdict in a case that many people probably thought would have taken longer to come to a conclusion of, with 10 or 12 separate jurors. You never know, obviously, but those last words, make justice swift in this case. If you're the defense What are you feeling right now?
You know, this is what I call a toss-up in terms of the jury rejected one of the cases. They just outright flatly rejected. They either rejected me as a defense attorney or they rejected the prosecution. Obviously, you hope they rejected the prosecution if you're the defense attorney. But they rejected one of the cases and they are sending a message to one of the parties. One of the parties, they're sending a message that this is complete bunk. Your whole entire case is bunk. We didn't buy anything you said. I mean, again, 3 hours. Can you get 12 people to agree in under 3 hours on anything? Send a message right now in your company right now and ask everybody, where do you want lunch from tomorrow? Just send a message. If you have more than 12 people in your company, send a message. See if you can get everybody, 12 people to agree on what lunch will be tomorrow. You can't. It's not possible. And this is a life or death case, right? Life or death, meaning like they could convict this man to life in prison. Essentially, they could convict him of murder, right? Under 3 hours, 12 people. It's unbelievable. Can't even get them to agree on the flavor of sandwich I'm going to bring them, my staff. Tomorrow when I cater. And sometimes I'll just have to cater from 2 different places because I give up on trying to get everybody to agree on where they want lunch from. So this is just
Michael, I got to cut you off real quickly here. We're getting notes from our Cody Thomas, who is now in the courtroom. He says that Carmelo's parents have walked in and the Metcalfs have also just walked into the courtroom, and it appears as the twin brother Hunter is now with them. Hunter Metcalf, of course, was in the tent during this melee. And
now the thing is, the brother have not been there through the whole trial, y'all, at all, from my understanding, right? But all of a sudden, he's there today for the sentence. And then all of a sudden, they didn't want to put him on the stand to testify what he seen happen under that tent, because that was his brother and he was there. That was kind of very weird to me, y'all. Very weird.
Did not testify for the state of Texas. Now,
but they want to say Carmelo didn't testify, right? So the brother, did the state tell the brother, no, we're not going to use you as a witness because we don't want nothing to come out in the cross-examination? Was that the case, y'all? Because it sounds like it to me.
maybe he was being held as a potential rebuttal witness if indeed Carmelo Anthony testified. But we know that, of course, Carmelo Anthony declined the opportunity to take the stand in his own defense. But bottom line, just trying to set the scene for our viewers here. Cody Thomas is.
Sis, I believe you too, okay? Hey, you entitled to your opinion over here, baby. Don't worry about it. That's your opinion. You entitled to it. I heard he was refusing to testify. Yeah, because he know that maybe the lawyer would have ripped him a new asshole. Maybe, because I'm not too fine with that attorney. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just not too fine to him. Oh, let me shut up. Oh my God, y'all.
Is in place. As soon as the judge takes the bench, Cody, is our only way of communication inside that.
Well, Auntie Wanda, welcome. Welcome, Auntie. I love you, Auntie. My auntie said, hey, D Moz in chat, much love. This has really torn my heart in pieces, but God will protect and keep him. Thank you, Auntie. I love you, Auntie. How you been? I feel like the jurists didn't want to deal with the backlash from the white Americans if they found him not guilty and gave, yes, 777, yes. Yes, girl. I can't even believe he never said in the impact statement that he wanted. Yes, absolutely. Great point, London. Great point. Yes. Great point. Y'all got some great points here.
That courtroom as we watch the live pictures outside the courthouse. Quickly, Michael, on the Hunter Metcalf.
I agree with you too, sis. When do a witness can refuse to testify? Yeah. When? Right. But they let Carmelo friend get up there and turn against him. What a little young snake he was. Again, he's a snake already and a damn kid. Okay? He's a snake already. Just as snakish as he want to be. Try to act like he didn't know this boy. He never had no ties with this boy. You know, none of that. Just stood up there and lied. A little snake.
If he really was expected to be a huge witness because he was there, he and his brother both went up to Carmelo and confronted him to get out of the tent during this track meets. Didn't take the stand, but he wasn't in the courtroom either, which I opined was, well, maybe they were holding him as a potential witness, as a rebuttal, or maybe he's a young man, he just didn't want to be there during the gruesome reality of the testimony. Overall thoughts on this strategy not to put Hunter on during the case in chief, and then also the fact that he is, according to our Cody Thomas, now there and a huge part of this case.
I have to assume that it was not part of the strategy. I have to assume that this young man just said he doesn't want to testify. There's no way
yeah,
there would be any strategy that would see you not having the twin brother not testify. He looks just like the victim, and he was there. He was in the tent. I don't think there was a strategy. I think the reason he's there now is because the case is over, and he might feel regret not having. How could you? I don't mean to make this kid feel bad. I hope he doesn't see me saying this, but how could you not support your dead brother, your slain brother, in your parents' quest to get justice for their fallen son, your brother? There's no way there was a strategy.
I disagree because he's done some interviews. I do think it might have been strategic in that, he was there and his presence in there may have complicated the clean case the state maybe thought they were presenting. Because just judging from the interviews that he has done, it's clear that he was more than willing to talk about his brother and the loss that can you imagine losing your twin? Oh, but yeah. Maybe the overwhelming reality of hearing about your brother's loss and you factor in the medical exam. Who knows? Bottom line is he didn't testify. Neither did Carmelo Anthony, adding another bit of mystery because the jury didn't hear from either one of these players. There were three of them, right? There was Austin, who passed away, Hunter, and Carmelo. Those are the three that know what exactly transpired between the combatants.
Which makes it even more puzzling that he didn't testify. Listen, maybe it was his strategy. I just don't see how. If it was a strategy, Ted, it was malfeasance. It was a terrible strategy. If there was a strategy, that's why I gotta assume it's not a strategy because the state of Texas put a lot of resources into trying this case, and clearly they've either won it quickly or lost it quickly. So I just don't see any strategy that the state could have cobbled together that would have told them, hey, it's a good idea not to put him on the stand. Carmelo not testifying, I can understand that. That's one that I totally get. But I just don't see, I can't even imagine a strategy. I can use my imagination. I still can't imagine a strategy that would keep him off the stand.
Sonny Slaughter is joining our conversation as well. Sonny, less than 3 hours, this jury has come to a unanimous verdict. Your initial reaction?
Oh, wow. It's fast. I wasn't expecting it to be long, but it's a little quicker than I thought.
Okay, this is the good part, y'all.
They had a lot of evidence. So a verdict is.
What about what we're watching outside, Sonny? It has calmed down in the last few minutes. People seem to have gone to their separate corners, but that could change after this verdict, and they'll know right away.
Yeah, my hope is that everyone remains calm no matter what the verdict is, because none of what they do that is destructive, that is agitating or irritating will change the verdict or have any impact except a negative impact. So everybody, no matter where they are in the world watching this, everybody just needs to remain calm, don't engage law enforcement, and don't cause any problems, because it's not going to change anything. It's only going to make it worse.
Okay, let's do this. Let's get a commercial break in right now because our Cody Thomas is in the courtroom saying that parties are gathering. Both sets of parents are in the courtroom. The twin brother, Hunter Metcalf, in the courtroom, just waiting on the judge and then the jury. Back after this.
I wish I could just watch live sports at home for a great price.
Sleepless, you do that. Sleepless, you do that. Sleepless, you do that.
Stay on the trees right now. Yeah, exactly. Or whatever. That wasn't the amount of lives. You thought the lives taken both sides of the line. Not thinking he can put his hands on him. Not thinking he can sacrifice. I need that. You know how they always say the children I used to have They got police officers at the end that ask you, you know, you have any issues. What is the risk to the right? Comments?
Welcome back to our continuing coverage of a verdict is in the case against Carmelo Anthony in McKinney, Texas. Collin County is the scene. This is the outside of the Collin County courthouse. Inside the courtroom, the parties have gathered, and our Cody Thomas is in place. We're just awaiting the judge to take the bench. He says that Carmelo Anthony is there. This is the first appearance of Hunter Metcalf. This is the twin brother. He was not called as a witness, but he is now in the courtroom. He hasn't been in the courtroom for any of the trial. This is his first appearance inside that courtroom, and Cody continues to pass along messages saying the courtroom is filling up steadily. Of course, security is very high. Both sets of parents are in the courtroom, Carmelo Anthony's parents, and of course the Metcalfs as well in the courtroom, along with their son, the surviving twin, Hunter Metcalf. Outside the courthouse, of course, it's been chaotic over the course of the trial on some level, but we're seeing it bubble up now as news spreads that there is a verdict in this case. Carmelo Anthony admits that he stabbed Austin Metcalf at a track meet last June after the two got into a verbal confrontation underneath a high school tent during a rain event. Both sides have different opinions on what transpired next. The defense here is that Carmelo warned the Metcalf brothers, specifically Austin, that he had something in his bag and he better not touch him or else. When Austin Metcalf then pushed Carmelo Anthony, he did reach in, grabbed a 4-inch pocket knife, and stabbed the young 17-year-old to death. Along with us, Michael Jafer and Sonny Slaughter. We've all watched this trial play out through the eyes of Cody Thomas. And again, if I cut you off, it's because we're getting some transmissions from Cody. But Sonny, to you first here as we await this verdict. There are 3 basic scenarios. You've got guilty of murder, the top charge, which carries with it a potential life sentence. Next is manslaughter. Put on the table today through the defense. The judge granted that. And then, of course, the third option, not guilty. How important is it for that jury and for the defense to have manslaughter on the verdict form?
I think it's really important because I do not feel like Carmelo Anthony had the initial intent or the intent to murder.
Thank you. And that's what I've been saying from day one, y'all. I never felt like he had the intentions to go there, that he took that knife there because I'm going to unalive Austin. I never felt like that. And I'm glad she said that. I'm glad she spoke on that because I never felt like that neither.
I think it was reactionary. I think all of them should have calmed down. They didn't. And I just think, I don't think it was an intentional homicide, but I don't see this as a not guilty verdict at all because someone is dead. Austin is deceased. And that is a criminal act. So manslaughter is the best that they can hope for and with a lower sentencing, but I do not see Carmelo walking out of court today as a free young man.
Michael, do you agree that's a long shot?
I disagree with Sonny on this one. I think that there's a good chance he's going to be acquitted because here's why. There was only one testimony that I've seen is that he stabbed him one time. He didn't stab him multiple times.
I said that too.
I do agree that he shouldn't have done it, and I do agree that it was maybe disproportionate. But there's a good chance that this jury's going to come back not guilty because they came back so. If this deliberation was 3 days, 4 days, I think I would tend to agree that probably they'll come back with manslaughter. But coming back in 3 hours, man, I can't imagine them coming back in 3 hours and finding him guilty. I feel like they're going to come back and find him not guilty. It's just I question the 3 hours. I just question that. So I think there's a good chance of that. But look, could it be that they came back in 3 hours with manslaughter and manslaughter was
got to cut you off? They are back on the record, according to our Cody Thomas inside the courtroom. The jury is heading into the courtroom. Carmelo is looking very serious, but expressionless. Defense attorney has his arm around him. The tension is clearly high in here, not verbal, but you can feel it. That is our Cody Thomas sending notes to us because, again, if you're just joining us, there are no cameras allowed in this case, but it has been watched by people across the country and specifically for those living in the Collin County, Texas area. So we'll wait with bated breath until Cody types again. But the scene has been set. The jury has been called for. We do know what comes next. Guilty of murder. This is Cody Thomas. The verdict is guilty. Guilty of murder, the top charge against Carmelo
Wow.
Anthony.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
Wow.
yeah, wow.
You
Indeed.
see everybody saying wow? Because they cannot believe this. They can't believe this.
We'll watch
Wow.
the crowd outside. They will start to get this information momentarily. And if we could keep that camera up on the outside there, because it'll just be a matter of seconds before this crowd reacts.
Wow.
Y'all, they
There-
can't believe
look
it.
outside the courthouse as people have gathered. Again, if you're just joining us, Carmelo Anthony has been found guilty of murder, the top charge in this case, after just 3 hours of deliberation. Sonny, but besides wow, which a lot of us are feeling, thoughts?
I was not expecting the top charge. I really was thinking that they would see manslaughter, still guilty, but manslaughter, different sentencing, but guilty of murder. So, that's heavy.
Wow.
And I hope everyone just, it does not seem like everyone's going to be calm. It seems like we're going to have a problem there. Wow.
This is dumb.
You can see the.
This is dumb.
Yeah.
What is dumb, Michael?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ted. This is just dumb. This is stupid. I can't believe that this jury came back in 3 hours with guilty. I'm totally stunned. On top of that, this judge as well, not letting cameras in the courtroom. I mean, good job. Good job, Your Honor. Really, really, really good job. You handled it really, really well. You have this community that's about to get lit on fire. You don't allow cameras to go into a courtroom. The community already believes that this kid is being railroaded. And then look at what happened. Your jury came back within 3 hours for a guilty verdict for a kid who used.
Now, ain't he talking facts, y'all? Ain't he talking facts? Come on now.
A 4-inch knife one time, didn't use it multiple times. Was it wrong? Yes. But was it murder, like beyond a reasonable doubt? No. And was it murder beyond a reasonable doubt within 3 hours? Absolutely not. This is insane. This is dumb.
Cody Thomas saying that there are tears on Carmelo's side of the courtroom, and they're going into the penalty phase immediately. So this, no one is leaving the courtroom. They're going to now go into the penalty phase. There's a huge, Carmelo Anthony is a young man. He is now 19. And the sentencing for the top charge, in a lot of states, you're found guilty of murder, you're going away, sometimes for life without, or at least 25 to life before you're. Texas is different. The range of sentencing here is 5 years to life in prison. So the decision making now, and we'll wait till Cody updates us whether the jury is going to stay in, do the sentencing, or if it'll be the judge. Boy, if I'm the defense, I'm getting that jury as far away from this courthouse as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, 1,000%. I'm not letting this jury touch. I mean, I'm questioning the jury. I'm asking them, how did you reach your verdict? How did you reach it so quickly? What happened? It was a 4-inch knife. He used it one time. He was pushed. I'm not saying that it was right, but what are you doing? How did you get this verdict? I want to know. My whole identity as a defense attorney would be in question right now.
And y'all, these are the attorneys and prosecutors that's talking, okay? Yes. These not like anybody that's on this story talking. These are prosecutor, defense attorneys that's talking. And they know this was wrong. They know they did this boy wrong.
I'm questioning my identity right now, and I have nothing to do with this case. How could you come back like that? I would be enraged. I'm enraged right now. This is very upsetting. And then on top of it, to compound it, this dumb judge didn't allow cameras in the courtroom. What was your wisdom? What were you thinking? How you put on?
Girl, he said dumb judge. He ain't lying.
A robe. Are you that much of an imbecile that you won't let cameras in the courtroom in a case like this? This is not a rape case. This is something different. This is something that's clearly the whole community is enraged, and you knew that before the trial started. So I mean, this is very upsetting.
You can see the reaction. The crowd outside, of course, has received the news that Carmelo Anthony has been found guilty of the top charge of murder. And now inside the courtroom, they are moving to the penalty phase. At this point, you do wish that the people that were supporting Austin Metcalf would just leave. To be honest, the jury has come back with guilty. There's no need for Mr. Stars and Stripes to be standing there with his moronic, intimidating.
Y'all, he's talking about him.
Cliche look to continue to incite. You won. Move on. Get out. Also joining us, Judge Kimberly Bando. It's been a while, Kimberly. It's nice to see you. Your reaction here.
If I'm the defense attorney, I'm already preparing my appellate brief. I want to poll the jury. I want to know one by one, is this your verdict? I already have my Batson challenge, enumeration error in my appellate brief. I'm already I'm pivoting right now. And I'm also trying to get some mitigation witnesses ready. He's a good kid, Judge. This was a mistake. We're remorseful. He admitted it as soon as the police stopped him. You have to pivot as a defense attorney and move on to the next phase. The verdict is in.
Yeah.
Cody Thomas saying that there's lots of crying in the courtroom as everybody absorbs this on Carmelo's side. Also, on the Metcalf side, tears. And again, they're going straight into the penalty phase. And Judge Bando, the jury makeup. There was a Batson challenge launched after the state used their strikes to get rid of the only 3 African Americans that were potential jurors. And they said this was because they worked for the school district or a school district, and that's the reason they cut them out. Looking forward, is that reason enough in your estimation?
It may not be reason enough, but it's a substantial possible enumeration of error that I would definitely raise. That would be number one. That initially on the forefront of this, that my client was not afforded a jury of his peers. The state arbitrarily struck them as jurors based on their race, and not because you can be an educator and be reasonable. That doesn't automatically eliminate you from being a juror on this panel. Teachers punish, discipline, rehabilitate, and actually would be better jurors because they're used to dealing with these scenarios with children fighting, having difficulties. And that's exactly who you would want on the jury. And I would definitely argue that in my appellate brief.
Yeah, Sonny, I hear you.
And what she's trying to say, y'all, that was wrong for them to get rid of them teachers. Okay? This boy did not stand a chance. I don't give a damn who in the bushes and listening and don't like what I say. I don't care. Come in the chat and tell me, okay? So I can tell you how I really feel. This boy did not stand a chance. This boy was railroad. I believe that, like this other guy said, what kind of judge was this? What was he fucking thinking? Okay? You had all these fucking white jurors and all this shit. Like the fucking lawyer wasn't shit. Wasn't none worth shit. Period. Okay? They railroaded this boy. This boy did not stand a chance. He couldn't get none of his peers in that courtroom, meaning teachers. The teachers didn't have to know him personally, like the lady said, but they are teachers. They work with children. They talk with children. They did this boy dirty, okay? We're not saying what he did was right. That's not what we're saying. We're saying this courtroom did him dirty. Okay? They all did him dirty, period.
Are you chiming in as well?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Judge. I was thinking manslaughter. I didn't think they would come back with not guilty. Manslaughter, because this was a crime. But so, since we are here, I am thinking that no matter who makes the call, I'm looking at, they're going to say 25 plus. I can't imagine, based on what we're seeing now, this, I would
That's
like for
crazy,
everyone
Tina.
at the scene to just, it's better if they just move away, back up, because anything other, any riots or anything, that is just going to be problematic. I think this judge really did the most damage to this case by not allowing.
Ooh, baby, say it again. Say it again. This judge is a bitch and he damaged this case. And he knew exactly what he was doing. The boy did not try to run away. He stood there. He said he did it. You know, it ain't like he tried to run home, did in a taxi. None of that. He stood there. He admitted to what he did. He even asked, was the boy okay? It ain't like he went there to start the fight. He was trying to unalive the boy. None of that. This judge, you in the right town. Stay where you at, baby, because we don't want you here. Hell no. We don't want your motherfucking ass here.
Allowing cameras in the courtroom.
Yes.
It allowed social media
Yes.
to fester, to foster. It
Yes.
allowed the hate to grow. It allowed the lies and the misinformation.
Yeah.
Ooh, she told her, didn't she, y'all? She told her, didn't she? He allowed her to hate all of that, all the social media, all of that. The judge allowed her that. She is absolutely right. That's why he didn't want no cameras in there. None of that. That's why when they was fucking with Nick Minaj, they didn't care. She even did a live on that last night. How the cop was nice to her, and then all of a sudden, when she went to tell the police officers about the lady was harassing her, they didn't do nothing. Nothing. This is a nasty, evil fucking town. I would never go there to visit someone if I lived there, baby. God bless you, baby. Because I could never come there. I would, ooh, shit, no.
We're going to get a break. Cody just said that they are going to be going into sentencing and that the jury will be deciding punishment.
Yes, Roseman, I
looks like
can't,
they're preparing
girl.
some witnesses to call. So a short break inside the courtroom, outside the courthouse. This is the scene as people react to the guilty verdict against Carmelo Anthony in McKinney, Texas. More of our continuing coverage when we return.
He broke that. She was in there with him. She didn't want to be on camera. She broke down and cried.
So explain to me what.
When they came back with the verdict, he broke down and he cried. Son, that family there is not good. That boy's not. You've been in there. I've talked to you before.
Damn, Peanut, really?
That boy smiled. That boy broke down and cried. They done fucked up the rest of this boy's life.
These people have been here every day. I know. You hear that verdict read. That's how you break down the ground. Into your heart.
Why do we have to carry? Why are we even here? To be honest, why are we here? Well, we here for, because if we take up for ourselves, we go to jail. If we don't, we die. So it's a catch-22 in this situation. What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do at this point? What? I'm lost for it. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them walk away no more.
Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin. Let me ask you this. Right now, it's a lot of examples there. The frustration. And a goddamn pedophile. The president is a goddamn villain and a goddamn pedophile. The president is. I accept. He challenges me to mutual combat. I accept.
Oh yeah, I know her. Yeah, I know Queen 88.
I accept.
I don't know her personally, but
Let's meet.
yeah, I know Queen 88. I don't know her personally, but yes, I have watched a lot of her commentary. Yeah, she's from another sector.
Octagon. Get the okay from Octagon. MMA rules. Muay Thai rules. Whatever you want. I accept. Whoa!
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Mexico with it. Mexico
And Queen 88, she lives in Texas too.
will get their revolution.
I thank you.
From the power.
I ain't been seeing no shit. He don't can shit chat. Come on, yo. Can. First, fly across that screen, y'all. Come on.
I was just wondering if they were here.
They should be, right?
Welcome back to Court TV Live. And the breaking news at this hour, which we continue to follow out of McKinney, Texas, is that a jury of 12 in under 3 hours has found Carmelo Anthony, the 19-year-old, guilty of first-degree murder. The sentence, which will be decided by the jury in this case, is anywhere between 5 and 99 years. So it was a very disappointing verdict, obviously, for the defense, but there is still another battle to be waged, and that is to convince this jury to go on the lower end of the sentencing guidelines, which is huge, 5 to 99. Obviously, there's a lot to decide. They are preparing for the penalty phase immediately. So our Cody Thomas is in the courtroom sending us notes real time. They've taken a short break, but no one is allowed to leave the courtroom. This same jury that decided guilt or innocence will decide punishment in this case. Carmelo Anthony, of course, admits to stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a track meet in Frisco, Texas last year. He was underneath the Memorial High School tent, was Carmelo Anthony, but he didn't go to Memorial High School. And when Austin and his brother Hunter Metcalf, they're twins, approached him, they argued. And after being pushed, Carmelo Anthony reached into a bag and grabbed a 4-inch knife and stabbed Austin Metcalf to death. With one stab to the heart, he bled out. Hunter Metcalf, the twin, did not testify at trial, but he is in the courtroom now. And according to our Cody Thomas, there were tears when the jury verdict was read on the Anthony side of the courtroom, also on the Metcalf side of the courtroom. Outside of the courthouse, reaction is, well, you can see it. live. There are many people gathered outside of the courthouse. There were no cameras allowed inside the courtroom. So because of that, people have gathered throughout this trial. And today, as word comes that there's a guilty verdict, there is reaction. We will monitor what happens both in and outside of the courtroom. With us to discuss, Michael Jafer, trial attorney, law enforcement expert Sonny Slaughter, and magistrate judge, criminal defense attorney, and former prosecutor Kimberly Bando. To you first, Michael. We were talking last before we took that break. Both Kimberly and Sonny were talking about the appellate scenario and the fact that this was not an all-white jury. There were 3 Asian females.
I can't hear you, Ted. Sorry.
That's all right. We'll work on Michael.
I can't hear. Sorry.
We'll work on Michael's connection there. Let's pick up our conversation, though. Kimberly, you could appeal all you want. We're talking years, and your odds of success in any jurisdiction, especially states like Texas, are frankly pretty low.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yes, to answer your question, years in the making. Right now, we know that the defense attorneys are now gathering all the witnesses, his parents, his friends, the pastor of the church, Boy Scouts, whoever, to get ready for this sentencing part of the hearing. And that's going to be very, very important. If we can get some school teachers in, the principal, anybody that we have who's willing to stand up and testify. Because based on that instruction that the judge allowed about provocation, I am not hopeful that he's going to get a light sentence. Because the fact that the judge allowed that slight evidence to say that there was enough provocation to give that to the jury, I believe we're looking at a harsh sentence here.
According to Cody, in the courtroom, both sides have waived an opportunity for opening statements in this penalty phase. The state immediately rested in the penalty phase. The first witness for the defense is Kayla Hayes, which is Carmelo Anthony's mother. She is crying. Cody says she is having a difficult time with her testimony, saying, he's my firstborn, will love him always. I love him very much. I know my son, and he's very sorry for what he did. Please have mercy on my son. Sonny, gut-wrenching for a mother.
Very. Yes. As the mother of 2 sons and 2 daughters, this is not a moment that any one of us wants to be in. Just like the Metcalf family, if it was reversed, nobody wants to be here in this moment. We all think we might know how to react. I remember when I found out my daughter was a victim. You don't know what you are going to do, how you're going to say it, how you're going to be in the moment until you are in the moment. But I do agree with Judge. We are looking at a harsh sentence. I said, I believe we're going to start at 25. I don't think there will be any mercy. I know they are doing the mitigation, trying to get everyone up. But at this point, I don't believe anyone will hear that. This jury came back so fast. I just think they have already set in their mind what the number is going to be, and the judge is going to do that. He committed a crime. Someone is dead. Austin is dead. I still think it was not intentional, and yet here we are. I did not think they're going to come back with a not guilty verdict. I did not believe that. I didn't think that would fit.
Right. I'm going to cut you off, Sonny. Cody's saying that the cross-examination of Carmelo's mother, and the direct was very short. Basically, they just wanted her to get up there and say, please have mercy on my son, after saying that she loved him. The cross by the state was equally as short. The only question asked of Carmelo Anthony's mother, you'll always be a part of your son's life. You are a mother. You love him very much, correct? Meaning, no matter what, if he spends years in prison, you're going to visit him. That's the insinuation for this jury.
Yeah.
Cody now says both sides have rested in the punishment phase, so you had no arguments from either side and only one witness. Judge Bando, I would have had an army of people ready to go.
Are you kidding me? I would have because if you're practicing in Texas, you know the drill. You have all the PE coaches, the Boy Scouts, everybody's in the hallway ready to go. If we're on standby, we know this is happening. I am so highly disappointed that the only witness that they offered for mitigation is just his mom. No, we need other people. We need the whole community to say, this is a good kid. Judge, this is why the sentence should be this. Can we get an appeal bond while he's waiting? This is not the typical scenario.
That's why that judge didn't want nobody in that motherfucking courtroom. That judge didn't want to do all these things that this lady is saying. Okay? No, he didn't want to do all that stuff. He didn't want to hear from nobody that Carmelo knew, from the school, from the outside, from nowhere. He didn't want to hear nothing. Only thing he wanted to do is put this boy in prison for the rest of his life, damn near. That's all this judge wanted. He didn't care about any of these things that these people are saying.
I'm highly dissatisfied that there's only one witness in this. This is so disappointing.
Michael.
Exactly, sis. He wanted to control the whole narrative, okay? Because he know he high power. That's it. Hey, Joy.
Schaefer,
are they setting themselves up an ineffective claim?
That adds to the appeal, ineffective assistance right now. He's a 3.7. Yes, the jury heard about that during testimony early on, but this is the opportunity to get the math teacher on. This is get the jury to remember the good side of this, because they came back in under 3 hours and gave him the top charge of murder. Your thoughts on one witness and
It's sad. They didn't let none of the board teachers testify. I don't care if it was from elementary school, whatever it was at. Nobody can come up and speak on this boy's behalf. It was like this boy was in a dark space because everybody in that courtroom was nothing but demons. The judge was a demon. The jury was a demon. The state was a demon. And fuck the lawyer too. That's what I got to say too. I feel like he didn't fight, okay? Because you should have fought more. When I said the other day about the knife, you could have said, well, I know you spoke to Carmela before. You could have asked him, Carmela, do you always take this knife out with you for safety purposes? You could have brought that up in court. Why didn't you ask him about that? Why didn't you ask him how many times that he can remember that he took his knife out for safety reasons, going anywhere? Did you ever ask him that? I just felt like he could have did more. And a lot of people is saying, why did the mother hire this attorney in this racist town? Because I'm going to tell y'all the truth. If that was my son, I'm not racist, but I'm going to tell you this. I would have never hired a white attorney for my motherfucking son in a racist motherfucking town. I'm sorry. Say what you want to say about me, feel the way you want to feel about me, but there's no way I would have did it, because I believe this attorney behind them families' back, he was working with the state already. I believe that. That's my belief. And I could be wrong.
No clothes.
Effective assistance of counsel written all over it. I don't know how we got to this point. I'm still very, very, very stunned. And I want to congratulate the dumb, stupid judge on this case for keeping the cameras outside of the courtroom. We all know as attorneys and judges that the courtroom is the province, it's the stage of society. How dare you, sir? How dare you not allow the courtroom to have cameras? How dare you? You understand what you've done to your community. And this is now not just a Texas problem, it's an American problem. This is unbelievable. I'm stunned. I'm shocked. This was not a rape case. This was a case that needed cameras in the courtroom. I'm stunned right now. I'm honestly at a loss for words. Somebody more intelligent than me is going to have to explain to me why I'm the one that's dumb for saying that this judge is dumb.
Okay, well, let's get a break. Again, the breaking news, the jury now has the case again, this time for the punishment phase. The same jury that found him guilty now has to decide what to do with Carmelo Anthony. 5 is the low end, 99 years is the high end. Our continuing coverage from McKinney, Texas continues right after this.
Are getting beat up. Like, what should they do in that? If you don't want to answer, let me use that. You're just walking on the street and somebody beating you up.
So how you feel about all the white kids shooting? You know what I'm saying? How you feel about the white kids? You're a white man. You sound like a sociopath. Yeah, he got to do some of that. What I'm trying to get at, I ain't talking to your fat ass. When you get in your car, you can jump in.
Good. What is it? Sports stupidity?
Yeah, he was working with them. Absolutely, I believe that. I don't know what the mom was thinking. You know, I don't know what the mom was thinking at that particular time, but I'm gonna speak for me as a mom living in a racist town. You know, I'm not saying because I don't, you know, the mother probably not racist, any of that. I don't believe the mother is racist. You know, maybe she thought he had her son best interest, but I'm going to speak for me. If I know I'm living in a racist town, it's no way I'm going to hire a white attorney to represent my son. See, I don't live in a racist town, but we do have racist towns where I live, but I would never go there to live. You know what I'm saying? And we do have white attorneys here, and I'm telling you, they get the motherfucking job done. They get the job done. Okay? It's no way I would hire a white man living in a racist town like that. There's no way. I don't know what she was thinking, but I'm not going to bash her, you know, because she did that. You know, I mean, this is just insane. This boy didn't stand a chance. It was demons all in that courtroom, all in the courtroom. That's why, y'all, they never showed them jury's face. The juries, you know, don't nobody know who they was because they were sitting behind a glass mirror. So don't nobody know who those juries were. They would never be identified. Now, unless, you know, someone knows them, come out and put it out. This was a jury. This was a jury. Other than that, they wasn't out to the public so the public can see them. Shit.
Oh yeah, man, I thought that was my big old part had a girl come over and hit a female. That's what I thought was gonna happen. That's what I was gonna do. I've seen something like that. The girl slaps or something, and then they sell some shit like, yeah, we had our guys like we ready to run. Did you run? Did we get you one punch in? Hey, be safe, brother. You got anybody with you? Okay. Well, if you close around, I'll keep an eye out, man. I'll keep an eye out.
We come to bring good news in a sad situation. Jesus Christ is Lord and God. Hello. He come to save that which was lost. He come to save that which separated you from a holy God. And that thing is sin. If we're going to protest, let's protest against sin. The very thing that causes us to go to hell for all eternity. Today is the day to give your life to the Lord Jesus Christ. He is the Lamb of God, slain before the foundation of the world was laid. Today is your opportunity. Tomorrow you may not get it. Life is passing away. Life is fleeting. Everything you see is temporary. Your clothes are
Brittany.
temporary. Your body is temporary. Your job is temporary. Your career is temporary. Your money is temporary. You won't be able to take any of that with you on the day of judgment. You're going to leave it all here. And you waste so much time investing in something that is temporary. But that which is eternal, which is life in Jesus Christ, this is what you're going to invest in. So today, before you leave this courthouse, give your life to Jesus Christ. We are all of filthy men. Filthy and dirty. Jesus is the holy God. Yes, you're filthy just like us people. But thank you who give us
And you know, I want to make this clear. I'm not upset because of the things these people were saying, you know, like the guy said hang him on a tree. That made me upset. You know, hanging from a tree. Very racist. You know, why would you say that? Hang him from a tree. That was promoting violence. Okay, that was promoting violence. You wasn't really helping the family. Okay, because everybody say that guy was a bully. Okay, I'm mainly upset because the way the boy was treated. Okay, I don't feel the boy had a right trial. I'm not saying what he did was right, because no, it was not right. And yes, it is consequences when you do things like that. But what I'm saying, the boy did not have a right trial. Y'all came back less than a week. Y'all, everybody rested their case. You had 21 people testifying against this boy. Okay, but you wouldn't let nobody in the courthouse to testify on the boy's behalf, saying how he was in school, how he was in the community. You had all these racist fucking people in the courthouse on the jury. The judge probably was racist his fucking self. The jury, I mean, the state probably was racist their damn self. Then you got the racist people on the outside making racist slurs and all that. And maybe some black people probably said some shit too. You understand what I'm saying? But I mean, we talking about the inside of this courthouse, okay? Everything these lawyers and these prosecutors said that I played, I agree with them. I agree with them. The boy did not stand a chance at all. At all. And like she said, I never seen a verdict comes back in 3 hours, y'all. Yeah, y'all can tell me, have y'all seen one come back in 3 hours? I just this case was not right.
But so far, things have remained pretty calm. Again, there's been no confrontations, no clashes, at least that I've seen from my perspective. But you do see the law enforcement presence, and also we're going down public
What you said, this wasn't a trial. Yes, sis. Yes. Yep. Yeah, this shit, that attorney like he was a YouTube attorney. Shit. God damn, we should have had Neekma Knight there. She would have represented him better than that. And she ain't even no attorney. Come on.
Welcome back to Court TV Live and our continuing coverage of the breaking news out of the state of Texas. Carmelo Anthony has been found guilty of the top charge of murder by a jury of 12.
Me neither, baby.
They took less than 3 hours to deliberate before rendering their verdict for the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf during a school track meet. After the verdict was read, they went immediately into the penalty phase. The same jury that found Carmelo Anthony guilty now will decide his penalty. The range is anywhere from 5 years up to 99 years. They are currently on a break, a quick recess before they enter the charge conference, where the jury will be given some instructions before sent back to the deliberation room to decide Carmelo's fate, basically. Both sides.
No, 777. I agree. I agree with that. Yeah. This attorney, oof.
Said no to the opportunity to address the jury during the sentencing phase. They could have done an opening statement, could have called witnesses, and could have done a closing argument. Both sides said no to the arguments in the statement. The only witness that was called was from the defense. It was Carmelo's mother, who briefly testified, saying that she loved her son. He was her firstborn, and she pleaded with the jury to please have mercy on her son. The state came back with a short cross-examination to say, well, you love your son, don't you? And you'll always love him no matter what, correct? Insinuating that a long prison sentence is not a problem. He'll always have his mother's love. So now it'll be up to this same jury. We're digesting the verdict and looking to these next steps. And we're also monitoring what's going on outside of the courthouse here in McKinney, Texas. A large gathering has assembled. And this has been a version of what we've seen each and every day of this trial. However, there are more people. Our Cody Thomas said today, as the case wound down, the closing arguments were presented, and the jury received the case, the crowd started to grow, and that's where we're at now. The initial reaction, of course, with many in attendance was disappointment, but there were others there who were undoubtedly pleased. Both sides have been represented outside of the courthouse. Judge Kimberly Bando is with us, along with Sonny Slaughter. We've been all watching this play out through the eyes of our Cody Thomas, because again, there's no camera in this courtroom. And it is hard to understand the defense strategy here in the penalty phase. Both of you shaking your heads. Sonny, you first. Real opportunity to bring Carmelo to life. You know, he didn't testify. That makes a difference. He's a young man, and it just seems with what we know about him, which was presented, 3.7 grade point, going, you know, he was on his way to college. He was a two-sport athlete, no criminal record, didn't have, he's not, he should be, those things should be accentuated during the penalty phase and reminded to the jury, hey, listen, this, before you go back there. Didn't happen, Sonny.
No, it didn't happen. And the mother, she is being a mom, but she really should have been prepped to really talk to the Metcalf family and the jury.
I agree with her. Do y'all agree with her? She should have been prepped by the lawyer. That's what I'm saying. What type of lawyer was this, y'all? What type of lawyer was this? He should have prepped the mom. He should even prep the dad. I agree with this attorney. She's right.
About not just who her son was, but who he could be. And that in a moment of irrational thinking, he did the unthinkable. But that's not who my son is. And none of them were there. None of us were there. And we don't know what actually happened. We only know what people perceive to have happened, but that's not my child. My child
I agree with
has
her.
Deep regret. My family has deep regret. He is a scholar. He has the opportunity to turn his life around. She needed to be talking about her son in the future to get them to see who he could be outside of this. And she was not prepped and ready for that. What she said was not enough to change anything. She also...
Lord have mercy, Jesus. Lord have mercy. God, take the wheel. I know you will. This lady is speaking facts, y'all. She is speaking facts. And these people up here, y'all, they are attorneys. They are they prosecutors. I think one of them was the prosecutor and stuff like that. These people are speaking facts, y'all. This lady was not prepped. The father wasn't prepped. He should have even said something. Like, what type of attorney was this? You got paid all this fucking money and you didn't do shit that you should have had did as a fucking attorney for this damn family. You was a failure to this family. You added more pain to this family. You didn't do nothing.
Also should have been speaking to the fact that what is going to happen outside, that everybody need to calm down. So that could also be relayed. There's so much in a mitigation part of the case, family members, siblings. I know, because I've been there. They could have done this differently. I'm sorry.
Yeah, to your point, this is a live picture outside of the Collin County Courthouse where there's been versions of this throughout where you have both sides coming face to face. It's unfortunate. The verdict's in. There's really no need, Kimberly, for this. Frankly, what's the white guy?
You said he was a lawyer working for the other side. Facts. The mother definitely should have been prepped. She was being a mother whose life has been turned upside down. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Guy arguing now here, like he's trying to. It's a powder keg, and if this jury comes back with a very, very long sentence, it's going to be even worse.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And we were on that break. This would have been actually a perfect time for us to hear from Carmelo. They should have put Carmelo up on the stand and let us see who he is. Let the jury read his demeanor, see him in his genuine form about how because at this point he's been convicted. So this was the opportunity for the jury and the defense to take advantage.
I agree with that too. I agree with that. As of this point, he was already convicted, right? So why not bring him up on the stand and let the people read his oral? Why? What did this judge do? What did this attorney do? Y'all, he did nothing. He did nothing. You know, that damn whole courtroom need to be ashamed of themselves. And I'm not saying ashamed of themselves because of the boy lost his life, and I'm talking about that. That has nothing to do with the way I feel that Carmelo was treated. That's what I'm saying. And the way his mother and father was treated. That's my problem with the whole situation.
Advantage of and let Carmelo Anthony speak for himself at this point. Yeah. I really think they should have at least put Carmelo up, if not just because his mother alone, we already know what his mother's going to say, that she loves him. He's a good kid. At this point, we should hear from Carmelo to see how he feels, if he's remorseful. That's going to make a difference when this jury decides how many years to sentence him to. Let us hear from him. I'm just so incredibly disappointed with the defense.
Yes, I'm disappointed. And y'all, he had a reason why he didn't want that boy to take that stand. I'm telling you, that lawyer had a reason. And the mother should have been questioning that lawyer when the lawyer probably would have said, well, I think it's not in his best interest to take a stand. Tell the mother why. Tell the mother why. And then let her mother have a conversation with her son and see how he felt about taking a stand. Just don't say, I think it's not in his best interest to take the stand. Tell the mother why it's not in his best interest. Okay, let me have a conversation with his dad and my son, and we'll get back to you. And then we'll see how you feel. Like, man, this is crazy.
Defense strategy of only putting up his mother and not hearing from anyone else, no other character witnesses, I just think was a disservice to Carmelo.
Yeah, and you know, they had the opportunity to put him on in the guilt phase. That's one decision. That's a different decision because of the cross-examination. Here in the penalty phase, it is a much easier. You know, you're going, but someone had to bring this kid to life more so than just through opening statements through your attorney, and you know, a few.
And you know what he mean by bring this kid to life? He mean to get people in that courtroom that knew that boy, that can speak up for that boy. Someone he'd been around for years, teachers, all of that. That's what this man means.
Witnesses that talked about his education during the case in chief, but this is it. This is sentencing time. These individuals are easily swayed. You know, they're people in the public, and they all could be touched. But you got to go and touch them, Sonny. You got to go try and remind them of the things that this kid does have going for him. A horrible decision on a horrible day, but even the initial officer that interacted with Carmelo said he did two right away. He said, I'm the guy. It's not alleged. I stabbed him. He admits it. Then he says it was self-defense. So he throws up but then the third thing he says is, how is he doing? Is he going to be okay? And it was one stab. It wasn't multiple. A refresher course would have been nice, Sonny.
Yes. And I also don't think that when he stabbed him with that knife, you know, most of the time, he's 17 years old at the time. He didn't probably think that knife and where he stabbed him was going to do anything but hurt him, get him to stop, but not die. And because most of the time, young people don't even have that type of presence of mind unless they have a gun or something. But this is horrible. There are going to be a lot of people cheering for a very, very long sentence, but we don't know what the appeal could potentially look like. But I just really think that the defense team, as somebody who works for defense, I just don't think they gave their all. I don't think they did the type of job
I'm not by myself.
that was
Thank
necessary
you
for this type of case. And we want.
Thank you. I'm not by myself. I don't believe he gave his all. Thank you, Miss. I appreciate that. You confirmed what I was thinking. Thank you.
Remember, I'm not saying Carmelo was innocent, because he was not.
Absolutely.
But I am saying that I just think this is going to come. This came back quick. I think it's going to be a high sentence. And I just don't think that the defense did everything that it could possibly do to mitigate a different verdict.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're hearing that Cody Thomas is making his way out of the courtroom, and will be able to come down and brief us from his vantage point of what happened during the reading of the verdict, and then that very short sentencing phase. One witness, no arguments, and now the same jury who found Carmelo Anthony guilty will be tasked with deciding what to do. What is the right punishment? There is a huge...
I mean, if you go on Facebook and look at some of them content creators, they're saying the same thing I'm saying. They feel like the attorney didn't do enough. A lot of content creators saying that, and I don't even follow them. They just come down my timeline. I be reading their headlines, and I go in the comments and see what the comments are saying. I mean, a lot of people is saying it.
Gaping.
And then from you hearing from a defense attorney right here, I mean, hey, come on now.
Void here between 5 years on the low end and 99 years on the top end. So this jury, who took less than 3 hours to decide that Carmelo Anthony was guilty of the top charge of murder, now has to decide where to land that between the 5 and the 99. Let's get a break. When we come back, we'll be checking in with our Cody Thomas. All of the reaction. He said in his notes that he could feel the tension in the courtroom. He's going to join us when we return. Stay with us.
All right, let me see what's this end of this. Let me see. I'm not sure. I have to see. I think this is the end of this one.
Any observations about Hunter? Because this is the first time he's been in the courtroom. He wasn't called as a witness. What can you tell us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first time we saw him, Ted, and we were expecting him to be called under the prosecution's case. We thought that was going to be probably one of the final witnesses to kind of end their case with the bang, but they never called him. And, we kind of assumed that because he wasn't inside the courtroom throughout the duration of the trial, and we know testifying witnesses cannot be inside the courtroom in the gallery while other witnesses are testifying. So that's why people thought he was going to take the stand, but of course he ultimately did not. But we saw him walk in today, a little expressionless, kind of walked in, sat with his mom and dad. And once his verdict came down, there was some celebratory gestures on the Metcalf side, and then, of course, a lot of tight hugs and everything. But we only saw him for those brief minutes there before both sides eventually left the gallery and presumably left this courthouse now. We don't know if they're in the back room somewhere, but they walked out of the courtroom, of course.
What happens now? The jury will be charged again with some brief instructions, I assume, before deliberations begin?
Yeah, that's what's happening right now, Ted. They're having a charge conference right now, and then they'll go back there and then deliberate the punishment. So that's where we're at right now. That's why I was able to come out here and give this update to make sure our viewers are updated on the latest and greatest facts that come out of this case. But yeah, that's what they're doing right now. The attorneys are having a charge conference. Then it will go to that jury so they can deliberate what the fate will be of Carmelo Anthony. Of course, with that charge, he's facing 5 to 99 years behind bars. Very serious offense here, Ted, that he's now been convicted of.
Yeah, that's the top charge against him. 5 to 99. Life without parole is not on the table, though, because of his age, correct? And so this jury will decide that number to which he will be eligible for parole and or serve. I saw you looking to the side there. Things are quiet. We've seen different versions of, people in each other's faces, then sort of relaxed. Are people leaving, going home, or staying?
No, they're still congregating on both sides. There's kind of this, trying to describe it to you, right in front of the courthouse, there's kind of this middle road. There's middle road and some medians on both sides, but that middle road's kind of blocked off, and they're kind of in front of the barricades here with, I'm counting, roughly a dozen sheriff's deputies out here making sure that the peace is still here, but they're yelling across the way at each other. Of course, the opposing sides here, whether they're for the Metcalf family, for the Carmelo Anthony family. So they're over here now. It's, I don't know, maybe 100 people out here. Of course, some of them don't want to get in the shot, so I'll refrain from, painting the camera over because I don't want to instigate or escalate anything. But there's plenty of law enforcement out here making sure everything is safe.
And that has been the case throughout. This jury's worked very hard. The judge has kept a very rapid pace. We thought maybe this case would go at least through the end of this week, but here we are on Tuesday and already wrapping it up. Even a 9-hour session on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, we started on Thursday when the official testimony started. Jury selection was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Got underway on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 9 days each, minimal breaks, only 40-minute lunch breaks and a couple of 10-minute afternoon breaks. So the pedal was to the metal here during this case, Ted. We were all kind of shocked when the state rested after only 21 witnesses on Saturday, and then the defense called 3 witnesses Saturday. They called 3 witnesses Monday morning. And then they rested kind of abruptly yesterday. So they only called 6 witnesses. And of course, like you just said, we expected this to run through the end of the week. But here we are on Tuesday and the verdict, in the early afternoon. So it was a really rapid pace here. And they're already getting into the punishment phase. Well, they've gone through the punishment phase. Now they're going to get to the sentencing phase. So they're really trying to put a bow on this thing. And I guess for this community to move on and continue to heal on both sides of the spectrum here.
Will you get notification if when a verdict has been reached in terms of the penalty phase?
Absolutely. I'll be there inside giving you the latest, Ted. I'll get a notification. We're on a thread here. All the media will know when to go back inside, when to be in there promptly, when they're done with that charge conference, and when they hand that off to the jury to begin deliberating. So, of course, when I get information, you guys will get information.
All right, which has been the case throughout. And Cody Thomas has been our eyes and ears in this case with no camera. Cody, thank you as well, doing a fantastic job for us, bringing the courtroom to life, including the guilty verdict and then the very short sentencing phase in this case. Sonny Slaughter is along with Judge Kimberly Mando, both still with us. And from a person watching, there was no way, Kimberly, that he was going to be found not guilty. I mean, he brought a knife to a fist fight. There was, let's face it.
Yep.
He, 17-year-old young man, brain was working, whatever. But please, you can't respond to somebody pushing you by killing them. So it can't be a surprise completely that this was the jury's verdict.
No, it was, yes. So it was not a surprise that they were going to find him with some criminal culpability. Yes, he admitted that he did it. So the question was whether this was a reckless act or was it intentional, that I intend to murder him. And I don't think that was the evidence or what his intent was. It was reckless. It was irresponsible. Yes. And that's why I think that manslaughter charge was appropriate.
Thank you. I will agree with her. And I said this in the beginning. I do not believe he took that knife there on that scene to intentionally kill this boy. Was he reckless? Yes. I will agree with everything she said. And I've been saying this. Yes, I agree with her.
For this scenario, I do not believe that he woke up that morning and decided that he wanted to murder someone with a 3.5-inch pocket knife. So I'm surprised by the murder verdict. I was not surprised that he would get found guilty of something today.
Now, I agree with her. And I said that last week when I was live. This boy didn't wake up and say, I'm going here and I'm going to take this knife and I'm going to unalive Austin. I don't believe it happened that way. He did not intend for any of this to happen. Any of this. And that's why I was shocked too, because I thought they were going to come back with manslaughter too, not first-degree murder. That was shocking to me. Yes, he acted reckless, but did he do this intentionally? No. That's my point, right? Do we know? Did I know that he was going to get found guilty? Of course. Do I know it was going to be some penalized for that? Yes. Of course. I knew that.
Sonny, the self-defense argument obviously didn't land with this jury.
I ain't gonna watch her. I ain't gonna play her live today, y'all, because I'm kind of tired from yesterday. So I want to play one more little video after this one, and I'm out of here. That live she did last night was too long. I might have to do that another day, but it won't be today. Because sometimes, y'all, I do get tired. I really do.
Jury, and there were so many options that he did have, even at his young age, and you can argue what he thought was imposing the Metcalf brothers, but the idea that this was self-defense might have been the wrong route for the defense to have taken in terms of their message to this jury, that, you know, he had so many other choices to make, including doing nothing. There was adults, coaches, people. They're not just by themselves walking down to some street. There were so many avenues away. The idea of self-defense, do you think that obviously it didn't hit with the jury, but could it have pushed them to all agree collectively very quickly, like, no, we don't believe that this was self-defense, rather than go with another form of manslaughter as your defense?
Well, I think the self-defense was the right one. However, as we were having our break, one of our other Court TV and one of my longtime friends from Law and Crime, Bob Mata, he was texting me because he's watching it, along with so many of our Court TV analysts. And he said that the defense, and he is right, had the opportunity to raise the adequate cause. He said at the punishment stage of the trial, the defendant may raise the issue as to whether he caused the death under immediate influence of sudden passion arising from adequate cause. If the defendant proves the issue in the affirmative by preponderance of the evidence that the offense is a felony of the second degree. Now, this is under their statute. So he could have raised the sudden passion, the defense could have, and it would have talked about the provocation that they alluded to by the individual killed or another acting person that was killed. So I just don't think that, I think the self-defense was the right defense, but I don't think that this defense counsel did everything that they could have done.
There she goes. She's saying it again. This is why I played this video for y'all, because I want y'all to hear from people that's in law enforcement. All these people here, they're prosecutors, lawyers, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I want to bring up. Did he ever, and this is just, I don't know, y'all. I'm just speculating here because I don't know. Did he ever have a run-in with Austin before? Was this his first time having a run-in with Austin? If it wasn't his first time, did the mother address that with the attorney? If the mother addressed it with the attorney, why wasn't said in court? So I'm trying to figure out that too, because that's something that we should have known too. Was it their first incident? My thing is, I think they knew each other from different track meetings. They didn't go to the same school, so we can verify that. They did not go to the same school. But did they see each other before at track meetings? Did they have any confrontations at any other track meetings? That would have been nice for to put out on the table too. Only thing we heard, they didn't go to the same school. But did they have any other background history together when it came into passing words with each other? That's what I'm saying.
Addressing the issue. And they didn't do anything at the mitigation phase.
Exactly, Shay. Hey, my girl, what's going on, baby?
We're going off of the reporting out of the courtroom. We didn't have we didn't watch it in real time the way the juries did, and they didn't take them long. Less than 3 hours. Given the amount of testimony that they absorbed, they came back with that top charge. So the state did an excellent job, you could argue, in their presentation of this evidence. And now it is up to the same jury to decide the fate of Carmelo Anthony in terms of penalty, 5 to 99 years. It's a big decision. And we will wait for Cody to get that text. And as soon as he does, we will pass along what this jury decides in terms of penalty.
Oh, Kim Kardashian, Cardi B, yeah. They had mutual friends. Okay, so I can believe that, and I think I heard somebody say they did have mutual friends. But I was just wondering have they ever crossed paths, like with going back and forth, stuff like that. So that's what I was wondering. Did they ever have that, or was this their first time going toe to toe with each other? So that would have been a great point in the courthouse if they had, because I don't know, so I can't say. I don't know.
For now, we're going to get a commercial break, and then we're going to switch over to Florida. The other case that we've been just glued to today, the George Pino case, the surviving kids that were on the.
All right, y'all, that was the end of that. So what do y'all think about these attorneys and prosecutors and stuff that was talking? What do y'all think about them? Now, y'all, let me show y'all a video, baby, how I got funky out there last night when I got off live. Ooh, child, baby. Let me see, can I find it for y'all, honey? Baby, it got real ugly. Y'all, was so tired when I got off live last night. I just did not even want to look at nothing else. I was tired. I was just, exhausted. Oh, Lord, I just couldn't take it no more. I just couldn't, y'all. I didn't know how to feel, I just didn't. I mean, my heart was hurting for the family. And like I said, we're not saying that, the boy deserved to die. No one deserves to get their life taken away. I don't care what color you are or anything like that. No one deserves to get their life taken away. So that's not what I'm saying. And, and that's not what the chat is saying. We're saying what things happened in that courthouse we feel that was not right. Even these people just said too, they feel the lawyer wasn't right. They feel he could have did more. They feel the judge, that other guy was a judge. He even said that the judge caused a lot of chaos in this case. A lot of chaos. He said out of his own mouth that he started a lot of chaos. And he knew it would bring chaos. The father said yesterday that someone gave the first $10K towards the appeal. I forgot who he said gave the money. Yeah, they still got to go fund me for him too. I seen that yesterday. Someone shared it yesterday too on Facebook. So I definitely did see that. And they didn't show Carmelo's injury. Oh, of course they wasn't. Child, bye. Baby. I just try to be nice, but the things I say, child, you know what I mean? But baby, I can go in. Let me see if this is the one that I want to show y'all. Hold on, y'all, because baby, they was getting down yesterday, honey. Let me see. Somebody got arrested yesterday too.
Here we go.
You're gonna give an account for it. Yes, you are. You're gonna give an account for it.
Back live. So what do you think the sentence is going to be?
Yeah, Shay, he really did rush that trial. That trial was rushed. He want he wanted to speak yesterday, and the attorney said he won't be speaking on stand. Ray, did you happen to know the link? I'm trying to donate money and give the link. Let's see. Ray, do you happen to know the link? I try to donate. Yeah, I don't know his. Are you talking about his donation link, sis? Because I don't really like know his donation link, but I did see someone posted yesterday. I did see that on Facebook. I think that was yesterday or either late this morning or something like that. But I did see someone posted, but I don't like actually know his link. I mean, if Ray find it, while I'm live, she can post it. I didn't go live. I don't think you can do a GoFundMe. Well, I think the GoFundMe was already up before this happened, so they still have that GoFundMe up. Well, I'm definitely going to donate and help. Yes, if you look on Facebook somewhere, sis, you probably can find it because a lot of people is sharing it. I just don't know who it was, but a lot of people is sharing the GoFundMe. The defense had needs to really investigate the witness and could have. Yes, Shay. Mm-hmm. Oh, they shut it down today? Really? Oh my God, sis, where did you hear that from? I heard they closed the donation because the company says they don't allow donations. Really? And I didn't see that, but I seen people on Facebook saying, yeah, why they donating to a criminal and all this stuff. I was seeing all that stuff. I don't comment on stuff like that because I don't, like get myself involved in stuff like that, but I was just reading it. She was mad and posted. Oh, yeah, I can believe that, sis. I can believe she probably was the one that did it. I can believe that. Well, maybe if the mom could put it under her or her husband, but reword it in a different wording, you know what I'm saying? Then they can't take that one down. Maybe. Y'all think that? Another content critic said they have the GoFundMe on hold because it's linked to a crime. What? That's because people was reporting it. Yep. That's because people was reporting. That's crazy work. So they need to find, yeah. It's no fun for. Wow. So do y'all think the family will be able to still get the money? I mean, because listen, the GoFundMe was out before he was arrested. So I don't know how they work. Right. See, it may have to go under another name. Yes. Put it under another name. Yes. Absolutely. She gets in my nerves. She has been all over social media getting funds herself. Yes, I heard that. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's so sad, y'all. I didn't know that. how people stop other people's blessings. I'm trying to see if this is the right one I want to play for y'all. Hold on. While y'all in the comments, I can just I can stroll through this one and see, because I don't know if this is the right one. I don't think this is the right one. Hold on, y'all. I'm still here. I don't know. I'm not messing up nobody's blessings, what they got. God bless that family. I don't care who family it was. I would never do nothing like that. Like, People are so evil and mean, y'all. Oh my God. You can't be serious. Wow. That was done to doing this trial. But did he ever get the money, OG? Hold on. I was trying to find that one with that. I was trying to find the one with that person got arrested yesterday. I don't know if this is the one or not. Hello, Miss T in chat. I wish they got the money before. Yes, sis. Right. They should have cashed out on that money before his sentence. The day that trial started, they should have cashed out on that money. Yup. Facts. I agree with you on that. I definitely agree. They should have cashed out, because these people is evil. Evil. These are some evil people. Yes, I definitely agree. Wow. Y'all, that's why I don't really do stuff like that on my platform, because people are so evil and mean, and it's just sad. I mean, I would never try to stop someone, money if they need help for their family. I have dropped GoFundMe's in my chat before to help people out. You know what I mean? Like, y'all, I always tell y'all, I don't do what I do because, I don't get paid from YouTube. And I don't stress that so many times. I get on my platform, I work free. Okay? But if I can help someone get a GoFundMe out, I would. Just like I said a while ago, if somebody find it, drop it. And if somebody wants support. But I didn't know that it was already taken down. I didn't know that. That's crazy. That is really literally crazy. That's sad. That is sad. I mean, why would they want to stop the family GoFundMe? Let the family get the money. That can help them with another attorney or whatever the situation may be. Like, people are so evil and so mean. Like, that's crazy. I'm so glad I'm not like that. Pull up these in Texas. They are similar. Send it to me, Auntie. I'll do it another day. Not today. I'm kind of tired today. I'm really is. Send it to me, and I will do it probably Friday, because I'm not going live tomorrow because of my granddaughter graduation. Wow, y'all, I'm lost for words. I don't even know what to say. That's crazy. Right, but they allow Zimmerman. Oh yeah, I remember that, Buttercup. And you are absolutely right. I remember that. Yep. I definitely remember that GoFundMe. And he got a lot of money for it too. Yeah. I'm glad I'm just not mean, evil, and stuff like that. I'm glad I'm not like that. If it's for a good cause, yes, I will drop it in my chat if it's for a good cause. But if it's not, no, I'm not going to drop it. But this is a good cause for the family. So, and that's for anybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind. I don't mind doing it. And I'm glad y'all said that, because I didn't know that. Let's see. What did she say? will appreciate it. This also can be bad. You know what? I was thinking about that too, sis. That was on my mind last night when I was laying in my bed. I said, Jesus, protect that boy mental. Because he's young. He's young. It ain't like he's going to be around 15, 16-year-old children. He's going to be around grown 30, 40, 50-year-old adults in that prison. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know, like, how far is their prison away from, where he lived. I don't know. Because sometimes they send you out to prison. It's not in the same town that you are in, But I ask God to protect his mental, because he's so young. He's so young. And people truly believe they are so entitled. Yes. Yes. He's going to be around real murderers. Girl, shit, you better shut your mouth. Yes, he is. I pray that he in prison will protect him. Yes. Yes. Me too. I know his mom is going to have a lot of sleepless nights, just walking around the house, not hearing his voice all day, every day, This is so sad. Yeah. And, he's a loving kid. So, I think, he'll make it. He'll make it. He will. Wow. They said they did something. The whole family has to get. The whole family has to get us that I'm being around the poor baby in prison with those grown men. I know he's afraid. Oh yeah, he's definitely going to be afraid in the beginning. He's definitely going to be afraid in the beginning. Yes, he's definitely going to be afraid in the beginning. That's no doubt about it, Shay Shay. I definitely agree with that. Of course he is. He got to start now waking up in a environment, showering, Now, I don't know. I've never been to jail, so I don't know. I'm just going by things I heard. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this is going to be a lot for him. This is going to be a lot for that young baby. Oh, Lord Jesus. That young man was totally railroad. Absolutely. Yeah. Really? Yeah. I cannot even take it at TikTok anymore because it's depressing. Yeah. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. And it ain't like he was a gangster, he was into the streets, he lived a bad life at the age that he is now. He know what the streets about and all of that stuff. No. This boy was a school kid, Well, at least they did let him get his diploma. My brother was 17 when he went to jail and spent a year, and he's 48 now and still won't speak of what happened. My brother was 17 when he went to jail. He spent a year, and he's 48 and he still won't speak of what happened. Really? Salute to you too, sis. Yeah, did anybody know? Answer Shay question because I want to know too. Did anybody know like how's their prisons? Like, is they nearby? Like, if anybody in here from Texas, because I don't know. Whew. That's something y'all to think about. It really is. Miss D, my son had to do 3 years in prison, and I'm telling you, it almost killed me. Ooh, child. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Well, I know the feeling, baby. Wow. They all the same down south. Okay. Okay. Hey, Roy D in chat, this breaks my heart. Yeah. Yeah, because we got state prison here too. So they probably going to keep him there, and then they will, because they set dates and stuff for those boys, to be shipped out to the prison. So, you know, uh, maybe they got more people on their way out to the state prison, so they probably come and get them all at the same time and stuff. So yeah, he'll definitely go to a state prison. Can I come up, Roy D? Sure. The link is in the chat. Brittany just dropped the link. Oh, Lord Jesus. I don't know what it's to say, y'all. I just that's only the jail, and he's trying to get to help them. Oh no, babe, I would never live in Texas. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm just, I'm just gonna be straight honest with y'all, Lord. And baby, y'all forgive me if anybody live in Texas, okay? Because I just can't live there personally myself. Baby, after this right here, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know, sir. Okay, sis. Okay. No Texas for me. I can't do it. I think every state is bad. I ain't gonna say, all states is it have bad areas. I'll say that. You got the ghetto areas, you got, all states are got shit going on. Goddamn, I ain't gonna sit here and act like my state perfect because baby, it is not. But I would never ever live in the town where it's racist. That's what I'm saying. Never. I stay over here and let them stay over there. Okay, I ain't gonna fuck with them. I tell people all the time, you have to be very, very careful where you take your kids to live. That's so true, Buttercup. Every state is bad. You better say it. Yeah. I'm gonna sit here and act like my state is perfect. But I'm gonna say this: if he was here, that trial wouldn't have went down like that. It wouldn't have went down like that. Oh yeah, it would have been mixed jurors, all of that. Yeah. Yeah. They don't have no goddamn jurors' faces here, baby. The jurors be seen. Oh yeah. Definitely not Chicago. Shay crazy. Yeah, Barbara. Yeah, it's been that we from New York City, and they sent my brother to Virginia. Wait a minute, he had a good lawyer. Okay. Not in Cali, where Auntie Barbara and I are at. Let's see. One thing about Cali, it would have been a fair trial. Right, Barbara. That's what I'm saying too. It would have been a fair trial here too. That shit would have been fair. Yeah, okay. And like I said again, none of them jurors' faces would have been covered. They'd have been sitting on that stand, okay? Ain't nothing to cover your goddamn face. Everybody would have seen you. Okay? Yeah, it sure won't be the same, Brittany. Yeah. Yeah, she probably ain't gonna, you know, worry about that kind of stuff no more. And the Lord, ooh. Because y'all, didn't he have 3 young siblings? Was it 1 brother and 2 sisters, or was it 2 sisters and 1 brother? How many siblings did he have? Because I totally forgot. My heart was so heavy for him. My husband said I needed to stop watching all this true crime. Somebody else said this yesterday too. I asked him to help, but he didn't participate in law in that state. And I said I'm too invested. He said I'm too invested. Sometimes it be like that. He had 1 sister and 2 brothers. Okay, got you. Okay. I know they are broken too. Mm. Yeah, I think like somebody just said in the chat, I think if they're gonna do another GoFundMe, I think they shouldn't put it under their name because it may be targeted again. You know what I'm saying? This this guy on Instagram show a part of Carmelo they didn't show. Girl, what did what they show? They need to get that GoFundMe money and fire that lawyer. Yes. Nope. Nobody seen the juror's face. No. Nope. The whole state is racist in Louisiana. Really? Well, I better not go there neither then. Y'all crazy. Baby, I better stay from there too, huh? Jeez. The good parts of him. Okay, got you, sis. Got you. Got you. It's about a video of Carmela being a kid. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, sis. Why the link isn't working? Hold on. Oh no, sis. I think that was the link from yesterday. Brittany got the link from today. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. That was the link from yesterday. The link that you got, Ray Ray. Yeah, that was the. Okay. So, hold on. Let me get back to the chat. Hold on. Okay. Do you have to pay for StreamYard? Yes, we have to pay for StreamYard. Yes. It's $50 a month. All depends on your plan. My plan is $50 a month. That's why sometimes y'all I do ask for donations. Because that has to do with my StreamYard too. Because I'm not monetized. I don't get anything on my platform at all. So yeah, StreamYard. Some people may pay less. I pay 50 because I wanted to have more people. Like I can get up to 10 people come on my platform. So that's why I pay $50 for mine. So no, StreamYard is not free at all. Nope. I wish it was. I remember when StreamYard was $25, y'all, and it went up. It went up to 50. Yeah. Let's see. The link Brittany posted is an error. It is? All right, y'all. Let me see. Okay, Ray just posted a link a few minutes ago. Ray, could you just hit that link for me? You don't have to come up. Just hit it and see do it work and let me know. It's the attorney family needs to come back home to that. Let me see what Brittany say. It was the same short video that today. Okay, got you. Got you, sis. Okay, the link is working. Yep, y'all. StreamYard is not free. Anything else, I guess it's free on there, but StreamYard is not free. You know what StreamYard was free? You know how many people would love that? Jeez. I did, sis. It's good. Okay, thank you so much, sis. Appreciate that. What's going on, OG? Is that OG? Oh yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
That's my auntie.
It's me. How you doing?
I'm doing good, auntie. And I
No,
know
under
you
the circumstance, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, gotta just try to fake it till you make it these days with what's going on in the world, in the climate, with what's going on. I mean, the Black community just had two devastating cases. The one with Cyrus and the Asian guy getting off scot-free. And then now this one with Carmelo. So yeah, I had to fall back. I did listen to the verdict because I knew that, the moment the state of Texas, all white juror, a white right wing MAGA judge, already knew that his fate was doomed. His fate was doomed. When I saw all of that, I didn't watch much of the trial and who was reporting it, because I can tell reporting that the attorney that he had didn't even fight a good fight for him.
Thank you, auntie. I just feel like auntie, do you feel like he could have said more of his childhood up until like elementary school, middle school? Do you feel like he could have prepped the mom and dad to say more than what they said?
Absolutely, you have to take into consideration from day one, from the time that they were picking the jurors. First of all, they rushed this case. The judge rushed this case. He wanted it to be over and done, which should tell you that there was already a cloud over this case, because it was getting all of the press that it was getting, whether it be from mainstream media or, people that were reporting it on YouTube and Instagram and all the other social media platforms. And I'm gonna walk y'all down how you can tell that his fate was doomed. That part with the judge wanting to rush this case. Number two, the jury selection. You have to pay attention to how they excluded all of the Black jurors, prospective jurors. They excluded, I believe it was 3 Black people, and I believe 2 of them were teachers or something in the school system. And they used that as an excuse to say, that, well, you can't be a juror, but why not? Long as that teacher was not a teacher in that district, was not a teacher specifically or of Carmelo's or Austin, why they couldn't have done their civic duty. So we have to pay attention to things like that. And when you end up with a predominantly all white juror, which everybody says it's all white, and I understand that, because even the Asian or Indian or Hispanic person that may have been sitting in the jury, their whole ideology is white based. It's white thinking. It's right wing MAGA thinking. So he never had a chance. And I knew when I saw all of that, I knew his fate was doomed. And then you got to look at, now I'm going to bring you to the opening argument. You are right. The prosecution came out strong, just like a bulldog. They came out strong. And I did not understand why the defense was not the same. It was not equally yoked. And those witnesses, they allowed teenagers, the same peers as Carmelo and Austin, right? When you talk about being judged by a juror of your peers, it's funny how they allowed his peer to get up there on the stand and create a narrative that was negative about Carmelo, but he didn't have a jury of his peers. And also, the defense attorney, when the prosecution was asking all those kids, do you think it was self-defense? Do you think that the Austin young man deserved that? And every time they will say, no, it's not self-defense, or no, he didn't deserve that. The defense attorney didn't object not one time with saying, leading the witness.
Auntie, you bringing it, Auntie. Yes.
Have to pay attention. And to allow 3 or 4 witnesses to get up there and say that, you have already pulled on the heartstrings of the jurors. That's why they were crying up there when the kids was telling their stories and saying, you know, that it was not self-defense in their opinion, and that Carmelo, you know, well, Austin didn't deserve that. And I'm not saying that he did, but I'm saying it creates a picture in the minds of jurors. Prosecution knew exactly what they were doing, but the defense did not come back and rebut any of that. Did not object to.
I'm glad you came up here, Auntie. I'm so glad that you came to point all of this out. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You know, so to break it down, that is a lot of that went on. And if Carmelo didn't have a lot of witnesses on his behalf, I think 2 or 3 people got up there versus Austin having, you know, many, you know, much more. He could have brought his parents up there to testify, you know, how he was raised, how all through school, his challenges. See, you tear on the heartstrings of the juries as well, the same way the prosecution had those young teenagers get up there and tear on the heartstrings of the jurors. He did none of that. I would have talked about Carmelo's upbringing, Carmelo having epilepsy and what his challenges were. You have to do this equal of the same, and that defense attorney did Carmelo and his family a great disservice. They really did. Mm-hmm. So when you're talking all these things and breaking it down, I knew anytime those teenagers got up there and made the jurors cry, it was a done deal. It was a done deal. It was a done.
Yep. Because the judge was sitting back watching all of that. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And, you know, like I said, the speedy trial, the whole thing. Now, it only took a week for this case, y'all. You know, we have known way more criminal cases to go far longer than this. And it went just like
I said that last week. I said, this is the first murder trial I've seen in my life go so fast.
Well, you have to think, I believe the judge is set this year to retire right after 30 years, in law and or on with
Mm-hmm.
to get
I think you're
quick,
breaking up a
fast,
little
and in
bit.
a hurry.
Okay, you got it.
So to do that, can you hear me now?
I can
Okay.
hear you, yeah.
So for it, the process to go the way it did, you can hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
can you hear me?
for
Okay.
all of that to be, yes, I can hear you, baby. All of that to be allowed and not no objections and no coming back fighting like a bulldog for the defense, just set the tone up. And the defense didn't call the brother who was there, that witness who allegedly started the fight, right? And they knew not to have the brother in court until the verdict reading. So the prosecution did exactly what they set out to do. They saw a young Black man, and it didn't matter what to them. All they saw was a young Black man, and all they saw was by the Texas ideology of putting young Black men in the prison system is greater than their white counterparts. We're going to be a part of that, because they never looked at the fact that they never thought of the fact that, and I don't know if it ever was even brought up, about a lesser charge, a lesser plea. There could have been.
I was wondering that too, Auntie. I was wondering, did they talk about that? But the way the lady was talking on the video I played, like they already knew what was going on. They already knew what they were going to charge him with, and that was it.
Oh yeah, I believe it. And if we find out later that it was brought to the table that a lesser charge like manslaughter, or there's another charge called criminally negligent homicide, you can get less for that. I'm wondering if that option was on the table, because in the state of Texas, there is a clause in the law in self-defense that says you cannot meet someone with deadly force that is not coming at you at deadly force, meaning if I shove you and I'm barehanded, you shove me back barehanded. I hit you, I punch you, I kick you, you can do the same to me. But when the weapon comes into play, that's where it muddies the water for self-defense, because they're looking at the state of Texas, and you can look it up. It's called a proportionality law. That means that if I shove you, you can shove me back. If you shove me, I can't get a knife out and want to jab you. You know what I mean? Now that case I was telling you about with the other young man named Cason Allison is the same state, the state of Texas. Now, I'm going to show you the difference in how they handle and judge young white men versus young Black men. He got into a fight, same scenario at school with a schoolmate. Now, the Cason boy, he stabbed a Hispanic boy multiple times. He didn't just do one like Carmelo did. He stabbed this young man multiple times. He got the murder charge, but it was overturned. And I want to say it was by the judge that overturned against the jury and dropped it down to criminally negligent homicide.
Are you
And guess how many years he got? Yes. And guess how many years Cason got? He only got 10 years. He got 10. Versus Carmelo, first degree murder charge, not being reduced to a lesser charge, and more time, triple the time to be exact, than the white young man. That young man was 18 when he committed that crime, so they tried him as an adult the same way they do in Carmelo. But if you look at the difference between the two, that is the difference. And Carmelo's definitely should have been at least a manslaughter or criminally negligent homicide because there was no intent involved.
Right, Auntie. And that's what the offense attorneys were saying. They were so shocked they came back with first degree murder. Like he intended to kill this boy and he didn't.
Yes, I mean, he did not wake up that morning and say, I'm gonna intend to unalive me somebody today. I'm gonna unalive me somebody today. I'm gonna go to distract me and I'm gonna unalive somebody. That was not his intentions at all. So, and it was not premeditated because he didn't premeditate means to lie and wait to do something knowingly planning it none of that applies to Carmelo's case. So I really hope and pray that his parents, first of all, fire that attorney and get a bulldog defense team and appeal this case. And again, hopefully the state of Texas will not deny the appeal. We got to remember states like Texas that are still under a lot of the Confederate laws. A lot of them are that sit on benches, and even the attorneys, they are white ring MAGA Republicans. Right? So you have to hope and pray that when they appeal, and I know they will, that the state of Texas hear them out, judge it fairly, either do a retrial or get the charges reduced to a manslaughter or criminally negligent homicide, and he gets less time, because this is absolutely a miscarriage of justice. Absolutely is.
And Auntie, I want you to listen to this. I'm going to play this video because I want y'all to hear what this guy is saying. This is a white guy. So I'm going to play it, and I want y'all to listen to what he's going to say.
Hope and pray that when they appeal, and I know they will, that the state of Texas hear them out.
Oh, come on.
Judge it fairly.
And he was found guilty. Good attorneys on. I mean, am I surprised at all? No. Because his attorneys fucking failed him, period. So, you guys want me to do something? You better get a hold of Carmelo's motherfucking family, bro. Because in Texas, you actually can bring ineffective assistance to counsel claims and ask for a motion in new trial within 30 days after his sentencing. You normally can't do that in other states. That's apparently the procedure over there. And his family needs to fucking contact me. And I'll get an attorney in Texas and work with that motherfucking attorney. They need to fire their motherfucking attorneys yesterday. His fight's just begun, man. So, you know, yeah. Am I surprised? No. Not after I saw how this shit was going. 21 witnesses versus 6, and you don't even cross the 21. I mean, you know, I'll leave that up to y'all. You better find Carmelo's family and tell them to get in my DMs, man. Because he just got fucking railroaded. Shouldn't have been first degree under any circumstance. No evidence.
Did y'all hear that? Y'all heard what he said, right? That boy got railroaded. He absolutely did. What you think about it, Auntie?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. Like I said, I knew from and I looked up some stuff on that judge, you know, and I knew he was a right-wing MAGA guy that, you know, goes by the book of the law of the land of the state of Texas and still bow down to the Confederate flag. I knew that. I knew he was done then. And then, like I said, the whole jury situation, I said, yeah, he about to be railroaded. But it seems to me that Carmelo's attorney allowed it. He allowed a lot of things, which is questionable on his part. He needs to be investigated. And I definitely believe that they need to appeal on the basis of Carmelo was not judged by a jury of his peers. There were no blacks on there. That probably would listen. You get a bunch of 40, 50, 60-year-old fuddy-duddies that are none a person of color up there to judge the life of a 17-year-old in school. They are far removed from that. They won't relate. All they see is the Confederate laws of the land in the state of Texas. And that is, if it's a young black boy, we're gonna make an example out of him and give him harsher penalty, harsher verdict, harsher sentencing than his white counterpart. Because that has been, since the day has been old, that it has happened in our favor in that way.
White guy in that video I just played. That was a white guy that said that.
Yeah, I know that was a white guy, and I hope the Anthonys do reach out to him and he put his money where his mouth is. How about that? So if he actually agree and want to help and they reach out to him, then he needs to put his money where his mouth is, right? Because it's easy to get up on the platform and just talk about what you're going to do for somebody. Same with Charleston White. He got up there and talk a bunch of jibber jabber as well. It's time to put up or shut up for that young man. That young man is in the fight of his life, and it ain't necessarily completely over for him. But he got to have the right people. He got to have the right defense attorneys behind him. That's number one. And they got to plead before the state again for the appeal. They got to really make a compelling case.
Right.
Even if they say, let's do a retrial or we can, make a plea for a lesser charge or something.
So, Auntie, let me ask you a question. Who do they have to go through to reopen this case back up? Can they say that they feel like it was an unfair trial?
Yes, they need to put it on a bunch of bases. The incompetency of his attorney, not having a jury of his peers, right? There was not, the burden of proof was on the prosecutors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the defense the burden of proof was not met to me by the prosecutors, meaning first degree murking. Now, a life was taken. So that has to be taken into consideration. And that's where the plea for a lesser charge should have came into picture, right? Because when you look at a YT young man that has a troubled record in school, trouble record with being a bully, trouble record, like they say those Madcap boys do, they still get lesser time. Why wasn't Carmelo's upbringing, school, grade point average, plans for college, why was none of that? What he does in the community, none of that was brought up.
Thank you, Auntie. And Auntie, I got to ask you this, okay? Now, I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just asking you, right? Now, they said that it was, when the fight first happened, they said, I forgot what Brittany told me it was at. I think it was at the school board or something like that. They were showing the fight. People had to come to the school board to sign off to see the fight. They said a couple of people did go to the school board, sign off to see the fight. Now, when I went on Facebook one day, I did see people names up there that they did sign off to see the fight. Now, I don't know if this video true or not. I don't know. But I heard a couple of people, one guy say he did see it. I seen the names on the list that did sign to see the video. Where is that video? If that video existed and it is true, where is this video?
Exactly. And that could be an issue too, because that they can be brought up in the appeal. Because if this video exists and it shows more than just the little excerpts that were shown to the jurors in court, then yes, they have a right to bring that to the table as well when they appeal. I'm hearing that there was a tape. I'm hearing some say it was. I'm hearing some say it's a lie. So I don't know that part to be true. But if
Right.
that tape exists, if it exists, right, then it needs to be brought up as a part of the appeal. And another thing I don't understand is when the so-called friend of Carmelo's, the Eddie guy, got up there and said he was playing like he was recording. Why didn't they subpoena his cell phone? It's like they took those teenagers' word verbatim. Why didn't they take Eddie's cell phone to see if he had recorded a fight on there? So it's so much that was done that was not done by the defense.
Why the defense attorney didn't cross-examine? Well, he didn't even get on the stand, to cross-examine his friends and say, well, why didn't y'all go and get an adult? When y'all seen this escalated into an argument, why nobody got up to go get an adult to bring them back to handle the situation? Why did y'all think it was so funny? Why the attorney didn't say any of these things?
And that wasn't the job of the prosecutors to say. That was the job of the defense attorney to say.
That's what I meant, the defense. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, see, you're even realizing that it was certain things that should have been said, that should have been questioned, right? Because you have to look at both sides that knows they have their list of witnesses that's going to testify, right? The prosecution has theirs, the defense has theirs. And they both are coached, right? Before they get up there, they coached. It goes on both ends. So both sides was coached. But why did the defense, who brought the witnesses for Carmelo, get up there and literally turn on him? They literally said the things that the prosecutors' witnesses said about they don't think it was self-defense, and they don't think it, that Austin deserved it. And I'm looking at why? I know they were coached. I hope they were. Just the way the prosecutors coached those kids that got up on the prosecution side and literally tore on the heartstrings of the jurors, it should have been the same thing for the defense side. And it wasn't. Yeah. It was as if Carmelo was all by his, matter of fact, he was all by himself sitting there and couldn't even defend himself. He might have even done a better job even defending himself.
Do you check this too out too? When they got on the state side, the state was questioning them. All them witnesses said the same thing. Oh, he had his hand in this book bag. He had his hand in this book bag. He had his hand in this book bag. That's why I know they was all coached to say all this stuff. They were coached.
Yeah, well, that's the process, right? On both sides. Like I said, it's supposed to be on both sides, but it wasn't on both sides because the defense witnesses got up there and basically agreed with the prosecutors, which tells me what the heck were you coaching them to say or to answer to those questions? Because the defense knows that the prosecution is going to come to them with those type of very, very serious, tense questions. So why didn't the defense coach them, or did he even coach them at all? Because like I said, I couldn't believe that Eddie got up there. First, he acted like him and Carmelo wasn't even all that good of friends till he got busted in the lies with the pictures and the video and all of that. So there was lying done on the prosecution side, right? And then Eddie gets up there and act like he ain't a friend of Carmelo's, which he wasn't. Carmelo thought he was a friend, but he wasn't. He showed him that on that stand.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And that's the only thing I can say the defense went hard on that right there. Well, you don't remember this day. Y'all was in the room.
Yeah, catching Eddie in the lies, but it didn't set a precedent. It didn't set a precedent like the prosecution witnesses did by asking them the question of, do you think that it was self-defense? Did Austin deserve that? It wasn't the same. It didn't hit the same with the jurors. the prosecution side made those jurors cry. They felt emotion behind that.
Yeah.
And then I cannot forget, you got the medical examiner that got up there. And the medical examiner, the way the pictures was shown of Austin, you know, on thing with allegedly open with his heart in him, with his heart outside, all of that, very graphic pictures. And she painted the picture of, you know, what type of knife and how it can make what type of cut or stab or whatever, right? She made that crystal clear. And it leaned more towards the prosecution because she used the words homicide when she talked. I don't know if nobody's paid attention to that.
Yes, she did. And she did that for a reason, because she wanted them to know he was murdered. Okay.
Well, homicide just means killing, basically, a killing, right? A killing was committed by someone, right? The actual M word is, this person definitely this person, right? So she was trying to she was in the gray areas. But the thing about it is, and she got up there and did her job, but the defense was weak in the cross-examination. He was weak. Right. He didn't ask deeper questions to the medical examiner, like, do you think that they were in close proximity of each other when that stabbing happened, or do you think they were close huddled, like in a brawl?
Okay, now, Auntie, they said that Austin picked up Carmelo, and that's when Carmelo jerked him in the chest.
Right, which tells me that they were in close proximity, possibly locked with each other, fighting. That's what that tells me. When Carmelo, the way the medical examiner described how the wound, how it happened and where it landed, which tells me they were in close proximity of each other, and Carmelo's just did the one jab. And unbeknownst to him, it pierced his heart.
Toxicology report. Oh, they didn't never say. Well, I guess the lady was talking about whoever the lady was.
What lady? Toxicology report.
Well, not the toxicology report. She was a medical examiner, right? Okay, that was
the medical examiner.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah, you're right, sis. I never heard that one. So I agree with that. So I don't know what that was about neither.
Yeah, the defense attorney didn't get more detail on the defense side from the medical examiner, because it's a way you can tell if they were in close proximity to each other, or were they some feet away from each other?
That's right? A good question, Auntie. That's a good
question. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because if they far apart, then it would have been more like Carmelo had to reach or stepped up or ran up on and did it. That sounds more intentional, as opposed to when we in close proximity, locked together, and I'm literally fighting this big dude, because think about the size. See, they didn't fetishize on the size of the Hunter, of Austin Hunter, versus the side of Carmelo. They didn't harp on that enough. Right? They didn't harp on the fact that both brothers came up on Carmelo. They didn't harp, and both of them are twice his size. They didn't harp on these things, right? The defense, I mean.
Hey, Miss Brown.
And it would have made a difference in the way the medical examiner. It would have made a difference in the way the medical examiner answered the questions for the defense side, which would have gave it some thought, which the jury would have needed to ponder on. But see, again, that juror mind was already set, because the jurors should know the difference between a murder one and a manslaughter. They should know that the difference is the intent, and there was no intent there, but they convicted him like it was first degree. And it absolutely was not.
What's your thoughts, Miss Brown?
I agree with is it OG Patrice? I agree 100% because if the medical examiner had touched more on the fact of like, was it a downward jab, poke, upward, even me myself, in my journey as a survivor of DV, I, had to do something to, protect myself with the same type of an object. And, when I spoke with the what is it? Who is it? The detective.
Oh, detective.
No, when I talked to a DV detective, or actually, I didn't get a chance to even talk to the detective. I was held in a squad car underneath a in San Diego, down here in San Diego, they put you up underneath like a parking garage, and I was held in a squad car. And based on the evidence, what the officers told the detective, who must have been inside the the precinct, they said it sounds like self-defense. Let her go. Because I was being, the person that was the perpetrator had their arms extended around my neck, and I, protected myself by, poking that person. And, based off of all of that, they were like, it sounds like self-defense, look like self-defense, let her go.
Especially, Miss Brown, if the person that did that to you was a man, because we know
Correct.
that men are stronger than women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So you have to look at the fact that Austin was twice the size than Carmelo was. They didn't even take into consideration that Carmelo, he has epilepsy. He could have been so afraid he could have went into an epilepsy episode. Like, he probably was so afraid for his life that he felt he had no choice to do that, because he knew he probably couldn't win, fighting him one-on-one with no weapon. And especially, and the other brother is right there. And at that part, the other brother is right there. Go jump in it. Jumped in it. Right? So yes, the defense should have asked more in-depth questions to the medical examiner, because it makes a difference on how the scar landed, what type, how deep.
I agree.
Because they know all of that.
They know.
Mm-hmm.
And that could create a different scenario for Carmelo, and gave something else for the jurors to ponder on, to think about, to toil with. I just don't think the defense did a good enough job for that young man. He did him such a disservice, and I got to hold his parents accountable for that as well. What were they thinking?
That's what I'm saying, Auntie. I understand with so much going on, but what was they even and I'm just gonna be straight out honest and say how I feel. What was their mother thinking to get a goddamn white attorney in a racist ass goddamn area? What was she thinking? And I'm just being straight up.
I would have fired him. I would have fired him.
Girl, Miss Brown, shut your mouth, girl.
No, he would have been fired. He would have been gone a long time ago. I mean, how do you not see that he's in collusion with the other side? And because as a gosh, what am I trying to say? I'm a little nervous. I'm sorry. Carmelo, as he's sitting next to his attorney, you can write your attorney notes and say, ask this question, say this, say that. Or whatever the case. And it's like, none of that was happening. Carmelo, although he didn't take the stand, he could have just as easily, wrote some notes to his attorney. Yeah,
absolutely. Slid some notes over there and said, ask him this, ask her that, ask this question. You're absolutely right. And I will say, listen, people try to say, specifically white people try to say, why y'all making it about race? Let's be clear here. It's always about race.
About race.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Everything when it comes down to the criminal justice system, when it comes to us, is about race. So if they pull the race card, you do the same. He should have hired a black, the best criminal defense attorney in Texas. That's what that
Absolutely.
family should have hired.
I agree.
I
There's no
just don't
way.
understand what the
No way.
parents were thinking.
Well, they have too much trust in the justice system, and they don't understand that there's no justice for us. It's just us. There's never justice for us. People of our likeness. That's not even a
And you
thing.
get up there and you get up there at the end, mom, and beg for mercy for your son. And I understand that. But why didn't that judge put you on the stand and you talk about your son? I don't understand, because they do that all the time. It's called character witnesses.
Yes. To
They
talk
talk
about her
about
son.
the character, the upbringing. Where was y'all minister to get up there and talk? Where was your neighbors? Where was your community?
Where was the deal? Why did see? And this is another thing that I want to get across to people of our likeness. You know, 9 times out of 10, you never want to take them folks to the box. And when I mean by the box is to trial, you want to take a deal because they go, you know, I mean, I saw this coming from a mile away. I don't understand why they didn't just take the deal, whatever the deal was. You never
And I'm
want
gonna
to take
tell you,
it to trial.
I don't know if it was one.
I don't think it was a deal. I'm gonna
I
be
don't
honest.
I don't know if it
think
was
a
one.
deal. I think they already had it planned out for him that they were going to try him with first degree murder and go on with this sentence. I don't think it was no deal at all. That's just my belief. I don't think so.
Really?
And I wanna say this because I want to specifically speak to our people. Stop dodging jury duty, because it's things like this that happens. We have to get up there and play the Jedi mind trick. We are the all-American. We believe in the system and we believe in the laws and da-da-da-da. You have to get up there and say that to get in there, and then you do the okie doke.
Miss OG Patrice, we need to get on code. Okay, we need to get on code.
You had listen, and I understand. I heard that there was a black man that was talking to the judge and saying, I can't send another black man to jail. I get it. But you could have been a part of the one that played the Jedi mind trick, got in that jury, and did the okie doke. You could have been that one. Because all it takes is one.
Yeah.
We got a hung jury. Got to start over.
That's what I was
See, we don't
asking
think,
to come up for.
We don't think past our emotions, and we got to stop thinking past our emotions and start thinking critically, start thinking strategically when it comes to the criminal justice system and how you could use it, because they've been doing it on us for decades.
Yeah, they have.
Stop dodging jury duty.
That's true. I agree.
Serve your civic duty when you are called. You never know, because I'm pretty sure when they got called, they didn't want to do it either, but they came, they showed up, and when they found out what kind of trial it was, bingo. We have to play the game, the Jedi mind trick. We have to do that. We have to be at the table, in the rooms, being a part of the decision making.
Yes. Because
we can't get up there and we cannot get up there and preach about how we don't like the justice system and how bad it is towards black people and I can't send another. No, let me get in there. I'm gonna say anything that they want to hear to get in there and be a juror.
And vote. And get out and vote. We can't make complaints and don't vote. Like
I'm just talking about
vote,
serving your civic duty. So you had too many people. Listen, you have never in the history of the world ever seen an all black juror convict a white man or woman, have you?
No.
But we've seen an all white jury convict us. So we have to stop dodging jury duty when we are called.
Yeah, this is just so sad because in California, I've seen a similar case, where they had a hung jury and the person, young black guy spent 7 months in the county jail. They had a hung jury. He said he was in fear of his life. It was he said he was in fear of his life. He spent 7 months fighting that case in the county jail, and he had a hung jury. Although the deal though was for him to take a strike. He had to take a strike, and he also got I don't know how many years probation, but the probation, he was able to get off of that as soon as he paid the restitution to the person, or whatever, and now he's living a normal life, employed with a good job, but the goal is to set up for, they try to, keep that rope tied around your neck to try to, get you,
And I'm gonna say something else.
That probation.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if the Metcalfs don't try to file a civil suit against the Anthonys for wrongful death.
Right.
I believe that's going to happen.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be surprised.
You know what I'm saying? So they're going to try to drain them for every resource they have, y'all. They are playing dirty. They playing checkers. And the Anthonys are over here playing they playing chess, and the Anthonys are playing checkers.
Chess. Yeah, they're gonna break them. I don't know how could you be so deluded to let this happen? There's no way. There had to have been some, all the clues were there that this attorney, a lot of them attorneys, they they do, I think they said there was a picture with the Metcalf dad with the judge at a Christmas party.
I'm not even going by that, right? Because that has not been proven. I'm going by how they are on code and we are not. They stick together.
They do. Yeah, they do.
That's the bottom line.
Hey, this right here, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I done covered a lot of cases, and this case here taught me a hell of a lot.
This one and the Mr. Child case as well.
Yeah.
Right.
See, because we know if the roles were reversed and that was a black man chasing a Asian and gunned him down in the back, it would have been a different. It would have been a different scenario.
And that's crazy how that man got found not guilty. I still
for the life of me,
I
do not understand it.
I wasn't
but I'm not shocked by it. I'm not shocked by it.
I wasn't shocked.
If these two cases of our lifetime in our race and culture don't teach us to do more when it comes to that, it is do your civic duty if you're called. That's number one. That's number one. And when you see injustices like this, if you can help in any way, whether it be monetary, making a phone call, doing an email, anything, do it. We have to start having unity amongst us. We know that those were definitely two travesties that happened in the justice system when it came to Cyrus and when it comes to Carmelo. They treat us different. And it doesn't matter who's sitting on that bench. If it ain't us in the rooms, at the table, at the seat, to make decisions too, this is going to keep on happening.
Yes, I agree.
And another way to hit them is in the pockets. Don't go in no Asian establishments. Patronizing them. Why are you are we that indoctrinated and conditioned that we have to go in the establishments?
Oh, we getting talked about
you can buy black owned, you can go online. It's so many other ways, y'all. We at some point, when are we gonna stand up and have unity? Yes, we gonna always have those black folk that be like, "Well, you ain't gonna." I love my Chinese food. It's gonna always be them, right? We know it. Right. It's gonna always be them people that Harriet Tubman was talking about when she was taking them to freedom and through the Underground Railroad, and the ones that said, "I'm scared, I want to go back." She said, "No, you either come or I'm gonna unalive you, because if I let you go back, you gonna tell Massa."
That's right. That
we are going to always have that mind frame of some black people, but the majority needs to get on code. We see what's happening and going around us.
That was the Eddies of the group, right?
Exactly.
So then guess what? You gotta go. You gotta
Them
go
too.
because you
They
gonna
gotta go.
tell. Yeah, you gotta go.
It's no more than, the infiltration they did with the Black Panthers. They always get somebody like us to send us to portray our own.
That's right.
And then we portray our own on our own because we so indoctrinated. We think we can't live without Chinese food. We think we can't live without patronizing the Korean nail shops and beauty supply stores. Go online, Google search Black owned this and that in your communities and buy from them.
I agree.
Come on now. We got to wake up. We have to do better. Well, I'm going to get off my soapbox right here.
No, you
I'm
right.
gonna go back and I'm gonna listen in the chat, but I just wanted to give you all something to think about, as Black people, as a people, because when it comes to us, we always get the short end of the stick in the criminal justice system. They start young with our young boys and girls. It's a thing they do in school that's called the prison to school pipeline. Look it up. They start young, incriminating and calling us criminals in the school system.
Yes, they do.
All right. I love you. And I'm going to get back down and I'm going to listen. Peace out, y'all.
Bye, Miss OG Patrice.
Thank
Bye,
you,
baby.
Auntie.
You're welcome.
Yeah, she's right. I agree.
I do too. It's just really unfortunate that we can't get it together and stay on code. We really, really need to do that.
Yeah. I just think he didn't have a foul trial at all. I felt like he was boxed in by a bunch of demons in that courtroom. You know what I'm saying? Like OG said, even, I don't know if you was in my chat earlier when I was playing things from, these was prosecutors speaking, lawyers speaking. They didn't even like what that judge did. They was in disbelief, the things that judge did.
I missed it. Yeah, it was
if you go back and watch the replay, you'll see it.
I think somebody compared it to the with Emmett Till, supposedly whistling at the Clear Woman and everything that happened to him. It was a modern day, a pension.
I just feel like, and we all know what he did was wrong. We know that. We're not saying that what he did was right. We're saying that we feel he didn't get a fair trial. That's what we're saying. The way he was done. That's what we're saying.
Correct.
Because we're
down south
doing a live over there and saying that what he did was right. No, we're not saying that. The boy didn't stand a chance.
No, he didn't. Because like I said, I've seen someone have a hung jury, same circumstances and fear for their life, and so it was a self-defense case. And they, like I said, spent about 7 months fighting that on the inside, and if you and being outside fighting your case is even a better option. But one, if there was a deal to be had, I think that they should have took advantage of that. You never want to take it to trial. You want to avoid that unless you have a really good attorney, someone that is for you. The minute you feel like they're not for you, you need to get rid of them immediately.
Yep, I'm telling you, I don't think it was the offer at all, sis. I'm telling you, I don't believe it was the offer at all. They didn't get that boy no offer.
They just and it was it was beyond a speedy trial. There's a due process in the state of California where you have so much time to be seen by a judge. You have the right to a speedy trial. You have a right to all these things. But down south, those things don't exist. There is no due process. And the jails are awful.
Wow.
They are awful. Being incarcerated is, you know, a whole nother beast, especially down in southern states.
I believe you. I believe you. Wow. I just couldn't believe it. It was
Yeah, it's just it's so heartbreaking. It's just unbelievable how they did him. I've never seen anyone be tried so fast and sentenced in the same day. You know, if you ask some of the young you know, black men out here in San Diego, they're like, there's no way he was you know, charged and sentenced all in the same day. I'm like, yeah, that you've never even heard of this type of
yo,
stuff.
but to be honest, that's what my son said. My son was like, what? He was like, I ain't never heard of that. He was like, what state is that? I said, that's Texas. He said, "I never heard
Unbelievable.
of that."
They wanted to hurry up and put the and you know, and I've seen some comments in other chat other people's, you know, going down their messages and things. There are people who are threatening this boy already, and he ain't even on the inside yet.
I can believe it. And that's why yesterday, sis, when I told the chat, I said, well, y'all, maybe, you know, being they found him guilty, they will come back to, which is today, with the sentence, because that's what they do here where I live. They don't give the sentence the same day. Sometimes they'll give you a week, you know, to come back. They don't do all that in one day. They will tell you how they found you guilty, not guilty, whatever, manslaughter, whatever the case may be. All that will come that day. And they'll say, okay, they'll ask the defense attorney, what's a good day for you? The state, what's a good day for you? It can be a week down the line. Everything don't be done in the same day. So that's why I told the chat that, because I didn't think they would do it all in the same day. That was new to me.
Yeah, you're right, Ms. D. But that's how you know that they were all in collusion, including Carmelo's attorney.
Yes.
He was in collusion. And the way he had the picture, the illustration that they had of him with his hand around his shoulder was just like, you know, it was just, to me, the energy was just so fake.
It was fake. He wanted that boy to think I did what I could do. I had your back. No, you ain't had that boy back. A lot of shit you just said you did not say.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know, I did what I could. You know, I'm so sorry that this is, but you know, let's just, you know, it's just so fake, you know, just so it screams, you know, collusion.
Yes.
It screams you guys put the fix on it. It screams you guys already knew what you were going to do with Carmelo. You know, you guys already knew what you were going to do, you know, and then
the judge was tired of all the protesting and all that. He wanted all that shit to go away.
Yeah, and then he's about to retire, so that was his last Hail Mary, you know, before he got up off that bench.
Also, that is true, because I did see somebody on Facebook say something like that he was getting ready to retire. Yeah.
Yeah. He left with a bang. Yeah. Yeah. And then Eddie, you know, he's a turncoat.
He was a snake. He was a snake.
You know,
that boy sat on that stand and act like he didn't know that boy or nothing. You turned on your own friend.
What they say, Ms. D, with friends like that who need enemies?
You better say it. And guess what, sis? He's a young snake, ain't he?
Yeah, he's starting early, but you know, I believe that. I believe that they I believe that they were given some type of payout or something. I think that they paid them, you know, the families of the teens off. You know, it's just no way, you know, or maybe they were threatened, you know, that a lot of witness tampering that went on possibly, you know. That's just unfortunate. I just know that in the state of California, it wouldn't have went down that way. And I thought about moving down south because it's less expensive, but I'm okay. I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
Listen, baby, if you go down south, please don't go to Texas in that area, okay, baby?
Well, I was just thinking about Killeen, Texas.
Not that area. No.
No.
I don't think all of Texas like that, but that area, from what I seen yesterday, ain't no way I go there.
Yeah, no, they could keep that. I'm good. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. I mean, we already have it bad as it is as a people. I'd rather, not go down in states where a lot of slavery originated.
Yeah,
I,
I
I
understand.
I'll stay on the West
And
Coast.
a lot of people do that because they want the best for their children. And I think Buttercup said that earlier in the chat. Be careful when you take your kids and raise your children at.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I agree.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Miss D, for having me up.
You're welcome, baby. Anytime.
Salute to you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. So, y'all, I enjoyed them. And yes, they both made a lot of sense. Yes. Yes, this case was, I have friends in prison. Yes, Ashley, that is so true. That's true. One day, because the sentence by the jury and the son, he would have to call them back to do the sentence. Yeah. Well, y'all, I'm going to get up off of here. I appreciate everybody for timing in. I will not be live tomorrow at all. Tomorrow's my granddaughter graduation, but I will resume on Friday. But y'all know I normally take Fridays off, but I'm not going to do a live tomorrow. I'll definitely give y'all a live Friday. I hope everybody enjoyed this live. I will be looking out for some things, y'all. We'll, finish discussing his case on Friday. And thank y'all for everybody that chimed in. I appreciate y'all. Y'all had some very, very great points in the chat, and I appreciate everybody. Miss D, I sent you a coffee. Oh, that was you, sis. Thank you. I didn't know who you was. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, sis. Great live, Miss D. Great live. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always another great live, Miss D. Enjoy too, sweetie. Y'all definitely enjoy the rest of y'all day. And let's still keep this family in prayers, y'all. And I hope that they can retrieve that money, y'all. I hope and pray that this family can retrieve that money. I hope they don't. I know they stopped it, but I hope that, they have some lenient on this family and at least give the family the money, because that's just sad. And if anybody else want to donate, the link is at the bottom pinned in the chat. Ray dropped it. So, yeah, let's pray, y'all, that they can at least get the money. That can help them or whatever. Even if it's for another attorney or whatever the case may be. Help with bills in their house, whatever the situation may be. Because we don't know the mother and father situation when it comes to their work ethic right now. We don't know because there's been so much going on in their life. Preparing for this trial for their child. We just don't know what their circumstances is right now. We don't know. And I hope and pray and ask God to please, release that money to that family. Because I'm quite sure right now they are in need of that money and they can't use it. No matter what the situation is. It's just, this is sad. This is really sad, And it's sickening for the people to sit back and report that GoFundMe. Yeah, it's sickening. And I seen people yesterday saying stuff about it. Oh, they don't need no money for a prisoner. Y'all got what y'all wanted. He went to prison. Why y'all got to attack the GoFundMe now? Why? Why would you want to attack the GoFundMe? Let the family get the money. Like I said, it could be for anything. It could be for bills. It could be for food. We don't know their work ethic right now. We don't know if this family has been out of work, how long they've been out of work. We don't know that. We don't know if they're behind in car insurance, car payments. We don't know anything. Nothing. We don't know that. So, wow. It's sad. It really is sad, y'all. And I know I'm going to keep them in my prayers. I know I am. I have been through things in my life, and I never, ever will down a next parent or anything. And again, let's make this clear again. We're not saying what Carmela did. We're not agreeing that what he did was right. We're not agreeing to that. We all in this chat is agreeing that we feel he was not treated right in that courthouse by no parties in there at all. Okay? We feel this was an unfair trial. That's how we feel over here. The boy admitted that he did it. He didn't try to run away. He said he did it. All of that. So we're not saying what he did was right. We're saying in that courthouse, we feel it was not fair. That's what we're saying over here. You're welcome, Miss Brown. Thank you for coming up. Anytime. So y'all, I'm going to get up off of here so I can prepare myself for tomorrow. And I will see y'all on Friday. Y'all stay prayed up. Y'all be safe out here in the real world. Okay? Please always pray before you leave out your house. Ask God to guide you. You know, pray when you get back in your house. You know, we need all prayers. You know, prayers work. It really does. It does work. And I love you guys. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to my live today. I appreciate you all. And you all be blessed. And I will see you guys on Friday. Make sure you got your notifications on, because we will talk more about this case on Friday. Peace and love. Oh, and Miss Brown, you can go back and watch the replay like in the middle when I had those people talking about how they feel that the trial went. You can go back and watch the middle of that, because I played it. Matter of fact, it's in the beginning of the live. So you can go back and watch that part that you missed. And I love you guys, and I will see you guys on Friday. Peace and love.